open it up there, Mr. Man? Mr. John? Oh, we just started? Send us in.
Well, hello, ladies and gents. This is Metal Perspective. I'm your co-host, John. To the left of me is Mikey, back from the dead, as you may have noticed, and your main guy over here, Sheldon, and the guy behind the keyboard, co-host, Jesse. So, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about Mr. Mike. You got to tell us about the sad story that what is disgusting is I cruised through the news and I saw one article on this, and I think it's because of the group you're riding with.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong with the group you're riding with.
Good people.
They're good people, just like many of the groups we've all ridden with. It doesn't matter who they are or what they're called. It's a damn shame. I found it on one news outlet. So tell me all about it, man.
Well, the group, we'll just call them that for now because I don't want to put them out there.
No.
But we had a gathering in Orlando, which was a beautiful gathering. I mean, it was, all brotherhood, family. We had food. There was cocktails there, obviously, tons of water. It was just a meeting of people getting accepted into the nation. Business was taken care of, so we kind of closed ceremony early, which normally we'll stay out till 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. This was about 11:30 midnight, and everybody was like, "Hey, let's just go home and call it a night." We did. And, everybody had their helmets on. We had 7 bikes. I was riding in the trail car in the back seat. There was 4 of us in the car. My bike's messed up, and I was, obviously, I was previously in a wreck, and 4 months to the day, car ran me off the road and broke my shoulder. But so we're heading back, and one of the brothers that was in the back seat, we're just leaning over toward each other, looking through the windshield, watching the pack ride, and making comments. And while we were coming through Bithlow into Christmas, and just out of nowhere, I mean, this car, we were heading eastbound, heading back toward Titusville, and this car heading westbound toward Orlando just crossed the median. Don't really know the specifics of whether he was chemically induced or what his situation was, but it was obviously something was issue with him, because he never once hit his brakes. There was no skid marks or nothing. He just came across and hit us head on. But in between the 2 vehicles, he killed a brother who was 29 years old, didn't smoke, drugs, didn't drink. Oh, he was
I heard it was family, man.
Yeah, very good. He had a 2-year-old son that's not gonna know his father. He was a barber. But when his bike exploded, like he ran over an IED, or somebody just threw some grenades in his saddlebags, and it just went pieces. Front wheel, I was told, looked like a beer can that had been crumpled up, and he was killed instantly. Thank God he didn't suffer. He was gone, but terrible loss. Engine came out of his frame. Hit another brother on a bike, took him down, broke his leg. Another brother went down, had a broken leg and multiple broken bones in his body. He's in his 60s. He's an older man. 4 of us in the car on impact, because the inertia of the 2 speeds meeting head to head pushed the steering wheel into the driver's chest, crushing his chest and cracking his spine. The passenger ended up with a sternum, rib cage, broken back, pelvis, and leg. I was in the back seat behind the driver. My foot was up under there. It got caught, but I was catapulted from the back seat into the front of the car. smashed my head into the windshield, whole side of my right face, everything's fractured. I got to wait for all this to go away before they can actually surgery on my face, but they're looking at my neck and my shoulder and my ankle and stuff now. See what needs to be done with it. Brother that was sitting next to me, he had his seatbelt on in the back. And I think I'm kind of glad that I didn't, even though that what happened to me happened. But because of the seatbelt that he had on in the back, it crushed his left side, collapsed his left lung. He had massive internal bleeding. He lost like 4 pints of blood. They had to take his spleen, part of his small intestine. He's going to be with a colostomy bag for quite some time. He won't be able to ride again for quite a while. I've seen some pretty messed up shit in my life, but this is a pretty tragic thing, especially who's watching a friend of hers that you love very much, and to know that he is as young as he's just a kid, man. He's a man, but to me, he was just starting his life. He was 29 years old, had a beautiful 2-year-old kid, just never going to know his dad. But the guy that hit us walked away with a few bumps here, scratches. He got out and walked. Car caught on fire. And it's pretty much all I can really remember. Except, they're cutting all my damn clothes off of me in the ambulance. Next thing I know, I'm in the hospital. Tomorrow's the funeral. So
it's the one thing you've been very nice about. But I hear that this piece of shit was drunk over 90 plus. This lowlife motherfucker doesn't know how to call up a fucking Uber and ruins lives. It's disgusting.
Yeah, believe me, I'm not just heartbroken. I'm completely angry about it, but I'm still, even though it's been almost a week now, I'm still processing the whole thing. I keep seeing it over and over. Technically, I should be dead too. I'm surprised that me hitting the windshield, I didn't break my neck and kill me. And yeah, you're right. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I know you're just telling a story and you're trying to be, objective, trying to be nice, but literally. Especially a high-powered car doing 90 plus miles an hour. Come on, some responsibility.
It should be a lesson to a lot of people too. Just don't do it. Don't drink and drive. If you feel too tired to drive, don't. Somebody, a friend of mine in the Marine Corps actually killed somebody because he was trying to make it back home from leave in time from New Jersey back down to South Carolina. Fell asleep at the wheel, drifted into the other lane, and killed like a 20-year-old son. His mother was driving. Don't text and drive either. For all we know, he could have been texting and driving. But
something as innocent as that. I mean, I get it. You should. I did 28-hour straight drive, and son of a bitch, man. That I don't recommend that. And you're at the point where you're seeing shit. You think you see things on the road. Other cars or people on the side of the road or what have you. It's not worth it. And just the drinking and driving that pisses. I get people. You kind of losing your judgment. You want to get somewhere. And falling asleep on the road. That is pretty irresponsible. But the flat out thing is, once you start putting fucking beers in your mouth and you drive, after so many, after you're gonna go chain drink, 5-6 beers in 1 hour. No, I'm good. No, most people aren't.
I've actually, got you guys know me and how I feel about laws and government and shit and control and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely for, I think that, if you've had, especially if you've had one DUI, I think all vehicles should have some kind of that device where, just to save lives. If you blow into it and the car shouldn't start. I'm all for that, and because Believe me, I'm guilty of it. I've had DUIs. You know, I'm not just saying this trying to be like someone up on a pedestal. Like you're a piece of shit. I've been there. I've done it, and I know. You know, I've been lucky. And I think after seeing what I saw the other night, and it just because Spencer didn't drink, he didn't do drugs. You know, he drank soda and water. You know, the worst thing the guy did is he was a vapor. You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he lost his life because of someone like me that is a drinker, and so I mean that's it. There's no excuse for anybody doing it, but
Right.
I don't want to take away anybody's freedom, but after what I saw, I mean, because I mean I go to the clubhouse and I have a few beers, and I know that when I'm with the club, I don't drink hard beers. I drink light beers, which are mainly more water than anything. And where I used to be like, 5 beer guy at a bar and then get on a bike and ride to the next bar. Now I'll drink 1 beer and I'll drink a couple waters before I get back on the bike. And I know that when we're getting ready to take off, I got water in me to level that out. In my age, I've become responsible, but there are people out there that are 21, to me, that's just you're a kid, and you're allowed to drink, and not putting anybody down, but I mean, to make a decision like that quick and just taking somebody's life. So I don't know. It's a tough subject.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not like a Mike against drunk drivers kind of thing, but I just know that I lost a really good friend, and I've lost a lot of good friends over the years, to a lot of, drinking and driving. Hell, my high school back in the 80s had the highest DUI rate in the state of Virginia, 1986 and 87. Had more kids killed by drinking and driving, I'm damn sure not a stranger to this shit. But
Right. Yeah, no. Do you know, is Florida a felony state or like
no fault.
after the second DUI or like this guy, if he's had a prior, is it now a fucking felony, and is he going to get put away for murder?
Well,
California is. If you drink and drive, you sign a deal saying, hey, next time I'm out there, I'm going to get, if I get in an accident or just driving, it's an. Now, if you get in an accident, kill somebody, you're going to jail.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know if that's like a state regulated thing. I know that if you're drinking and driving and there's a fatality involved and you're the cause of that fatality, it's automatic vehicular manslaughter.
Right.
And you will do time.
Yeah.
I mean, a minimum of like 3 to 5, depending on the case, but and this wreck here, I mean, shit, he didn't just kill one person. He killed one and then fucked up a whole bunch of others,
Killed, yeah.
So, yeah.
He owes a lot.
Yeah.
If not hundreds of thousands.
Oh, yeah.
Medical bills.
Oh, yeah.
And a funeral cost.
Medical bills, funeral costs, vehicle, all that stuff. But
People, it's people's lives. It tore up a lot of people. Anyway, on a lighter note, fucked up shit.
I'm sure Mikey would want to talk about.
Yeah, no. We're going to talk about something else. You remember Spinal Tap?
Hundreds of times.
One of those guys.
Yeah.
I've seen it a couple times. You see it?
Oh, good Lord. Are you kidding me? It turns.
You're talking about
it goes to 11.
You're talking about like This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
They played it on like probably VH.
About a million fucking times.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw it, but
You're going to love this. You're going to love it. I guess you're going to make a sequel now?
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
With the original cast?
Yeah, it looks like it. Rob Reiner.
Yeah, he's the one who did the original, and then
yeah, he's putting it together. I'm back playing Bergie from
you want the information, I do have law on DUIs.
Oh, yeah, what is that?
First conviction, not less than $500 or more than $1,000 per penalty. And this is just for straight DUI. This isn't factoring in. If breath alcohol is 0.15 or higher, it's not less than 1,000, not more than. Second conviction is not less than 1,000 or more than 2,000. 0.15 or higher is not less than 2,000, 4,000. Per conviction within 10 years of the second offense, not less than 2,000 or more than 5,000. If 0.15, not less than. And then third conviction of more than 10 years, 2,000 to 5,000. Fourth would be not less than $2,000. Or if it's 0.15 or higher, the minor in the vehicle.
They're pretty fucking lenient.
Yeah, did you know that like John Morgan has 6 fucking DUIs? Yeah.
Imprisonment. First conviction, not more than 6 months. If 0.15 or higher or minor in the vehicle, not more than 9. Second conviction, imprisonment,
That's
not more than 9 months. Yeah.
The judge will go, fuck it, time served.
If 0.15 or higher, not more than 12 months. If second conviction, 5 years of prior conviction, mandatory imprisonment of 10 days, at least 48 hours of confinement must. Third, if the conviction is within 10 years, a prior conviction mandatory imprisonment of 30 days and at least 48 hours of confinement. Fourth would be not more than 5 years, or as provided in 775 or if it's habitual.
Florida's pretty damn lenient, man.
Oh.
Well, it used to be back in the day, like my uncle had done it because, he was a over the road driver and he got busted somewhere up north. He took his CDL, so he come down here to Florida and got another CDL so he can keep working. It used to be that way down here. Florida was like very, very lenient on shit like that. But now, it's across the board. You got a CDL and you fuck up, that's it, you're done.
Well, from a recent individual, I won't disclose any name, my affiliation. He's still driving after getting a DUI like 2 weeks ago. Something to do with hardship.
Yeah.
He can go to and from work and can't drive at like certain hours of the evening.
There's stipulations on that. You
They
to and from work into the grocery store.
they do actually have one.
Almost like house arrest, but on the road.
Yeah.
You actually have manslaughter.
Oh, there you go. I
Second
like
degree
that.
felony, not more than $10,000 fine or 50.
For the first offense? Or
DUI manslaughter.
So first offense then.
DUI manslaughter / driver convicted who / should have known the crash occurred, failed to give information. Felony, not 30 years. A vehicular homicide, second degree felony, not more than imprisonment. Vehicular homicide, leaving not more than 1,000 or. So he's looking about minimum. That's not that. That's including.
See, that's the
one
only problem
vehicular
is
manslaughter.
like California. I keep bringing up California, because you live there. They're a bit harder on that. Oh, you've been warned and you've signed this fucking thing in front of the court saying that you wouldn't fucking drink and drive again. And knowing the penalty of this, they're going to get a sentence.
California's lifted a lot of laws too on like drugs, haven't they? Like marijuana, it's recreational. Like even like the harder shit is like decriminalized.
Pretty much.
So when it comes to personal injury, which I think quite a few people on that scene,
7 counts of personal injury
5 years.
per.
Ooh,
Wow. Fuck.
yeah.
Now I don't.
You guys got a good attorney,
but
yeah,
but
you
it
don't.
also depends on judge. Judge might say, well, I'm gonna lump these two in with or such and such with this set. And
Yeah,
such
call
such
it all
with this set.
one. 5 counts will go to 1 count of personal injury. Yeah.
So he's looking probably around minimum 20.
Well, maximum 20. Maximum.
We'll see.
Also, the plaintiff
6.
side, your side, your attorney that you all have like up with, will hit them. Something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like the maximum possible.
Well,
Yeah.
plus it's also whether the judge wants to declare it in voluntary.
Yeah.
Because if he passed out or feel or whatever, if it wasn't him like swerving over in the next lane,
His attorney will get involved, and it's gonna be a big deal.
yeah. But based on just the information there, at 1 death and 3.
I got a fitting punishment to go along with that jail. I mean, tell me if I'm out of my mind. I figure if you go to the trouble of drinking and driving and killing people, I think every time there is a drinking driving accident that has a death involved, and it doesn't matter who, if there's a drinking and driving death, whether it's the guy who caused the accident or the victims, I think with that prison sentence, every time you should be going to the morgue and the funeral homes to help dress the dead and prep them for burial or cremation for their funerals. I think once you get a good look at a bunch of dead, mangled people, you might get the fucking point.
Also, maybe partake in what do they call it? Not like AA meetings or even AA meetings, but them classes you have to go to after being charged with the DUI.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah,
There's a ton of them.
they could be like the standing example to lecture on those that got their first DUI, what have you,
There was
and say don't do this. Look what happened to me, kind of shit.
I don't remember if it was a city, but place that actually had that where it caused injury or property damage.
Mm-hmm.
Were required to go and be at driver safety.
There's a guy that I think he's from Florida that had a promising golf career and ended up killing 1 or 2 people drinking and driving, and whatever it was, I think he was a multiple offender. Lost his license for life.
I thought you were talking about Tiger Woods.
But up in that upper echelons of golfers.
Yeah.
But he lives somewhere around here in Florida. But he goes around and does speeches now, and because they made the shit that he went through after. I mean, it really woke him up, and he understood what he had done because he was a multiple offender and killed 1 or 2 people, and it was pretty horrific. And now he spends most of his time, giving lectures at DUI classes and shit like that.
I'll give him credit. Good on him for realizing that what he did was wrong, but at the same time, it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, but anyway,
I'm having a thought here. I don't know if we should wait for Stuart from Deadline to get with us, but I want to do a review on this beer we're drinking. By the way, we're going to do that here in a minute. But there is a top 100 guitarist list, and I have news. We talked about it last week, and I know with you guys, it was brief. With you guys, it may piss you off. It may not. We talk about Joan Jett and
It'll piss Mike off for.
Ted Nugent. Yeah. And how the fuck do I forget Uncle Ted? And Joan Jett and Ted Nugent were kind of whipping at each other.
Oh yeah. I didn't get to read the whole thing. I saw it.
Yeah, he said.
How do we know it wasn't the catfish, though? Right, Mike?
Well, Joan Jett's kind of on a roll. I wouldn't have mentioned this because we talked about it last week, Christian. Jess, I'm very friendly with the mic. But we talked about a little bit
Food
last
issue.
week
It was
about
meant to be.
Joan Jett and Ted Nugent. Well, what had happened was is they came out with this top 100 guitarist list, greatest of all time, and Joan Jett's in there. Which, why? That's my opinion. Beat me up over here, and you can't because you're all fucking crippled up anyway. But Joan Jett's on the list. Top 100 guitarists all time. And Ted Nugent came out. I guess Ted Nugent didn't make the list.
Shouldn't be.
He said he doesn't understand why Joan Jett made the list, basically.
She made the
And
list?
Yeah.
She made the fucking list. He didn't.
I don't think either one of them should be on the list. I mean,
Right.
and I'm not saying anything bad about Nuge because he's a good guitarist, but I mean, you know, he's not like a Randy Rhoads or a Dimebag Darrell. So that's the kind of guitar players that I'm looking at. But Joan Jett definitely shouldn't be on there. I mean, she's great at what she does. She was an improviser. She, started the very first all female rock band. So, but guitar player. And she's not a lead guitar player. She does rhythm.
Well, after all saying, what,
Could rhythm be included in that list, though?
Basically Ted Nugent's a piece of shit for saying that she shouldn't be on.
Yeah.
Which,
That
Ted
she used
Nugent
to
kind
men
of
put her
speaks the
down.
gospel. I think he should be on the list more than she should. And, even in the top 1,000, I don't think she should be on the list, but Ted would.
She's kind of like a female Sid Vicious. She does speak her mind. I mean, I can see why I can see her running her mouth like that. But yeah,
she came out and doing this woke shit, talking about Motley Crue was misogynistic and calling out all these bands saying they're chauvinist, and she's like kind of on a roll since
Because
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, like especially like 80s,
Right.
when they were in their prime, they could literally like fuck any woman they wanted to.
and
Because they were rock stars, because they were Motley Crue.
hey, she could have had me, but she didn't come off the damn tour bus, so that's her fucking problem.
So,
You had your chance.
Joan Jett touring with misogynistic Motley Crue. If you had to weed out every band you thought were problematic, there probably wouldn't be any left.
Is that why Dave Mustaine did what he did with Ellison?
I don't know. Dave Mustaine has his problems, has his, he's if I'm understanding this correctly, he is religious.
Yeah.
Well, then he would know to forgive. I throw that back at every, anybody who has religion, is if you're going to practice it. Don't just talk it. Walk it.
Yeah, but David Ellison too was like the co-founding member of Megadeth. It started with Ellison
Right.
and Mustaine.
But I'm just saying that, hey,
Yeah.
if he did something masturbating to an 18-year-old and getting caught on, there's no crime in it.
Who gives a fuck?
All right, nobody cares, nobody whatever. It may be a kind of a dark strike. Maybe something he should have sat down with Ellison and said, "Hey, man, you got something going on in your life here that,
Yeah, but to weed him out completely, especially off like the new, 6-year anticipated album, I think that's fucked up.
Yeah, no, it is.
I love Megadeth. I love Dave Mustaine. He's Uncle Dave,
I do like 'em all.
but that's fucked up. Come on, Dave.
But, and that's why I wanted to say I wanted to have Stewart in here. I don't know. It's up to you guys. We can do a top one.
We can wait for Stewart, sure.
Because I'd like to get his feed on it.
I actually forwarded him. I was like, when we first started, I was on my phone. I was actually forwarding a few people the link of the.
Right.
I forwarded it to
So
Stewart.
we got to get Stewart in here. It's kind of hard. Well, he's going to be retired here soon, so he can get his ass on up in here.
Just a matter of driving from.
Well,
he's kind of starting to hit a side project. I'll say.
Oh yeah,
outside of Deadline.
Oh, another one outside of Deadline.
Yeah, with Jason from Deadline and another drummer. I don't know who the bassist is or vocalist.
Yeah.
Because Deadline is great. Their groove.
Yeah.
But Stuart wants to do, and Jason want to do something, outside of groove metal. They death metal. Stuart really likes power metal.
Yeah.
When we jammed with Stuart, that's kind of what we're all going for. Power metal, traditional heavy metal.
Yeah. Till Mike here got fucked up.
And shit happens.
Yeah.
Now we got this going, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, it'd still be nice to play some music.
Yeah. We still can, just
Yeah.
Mikey just has to recover.
Yeah. I still got my other drum kit, and then I get a settlement. I'm going to get a Mapex kit for sure. That's what I want.
Right.
I mean, the playing's not over. I just won't be able to play like I normally play. I can't, kind of go bombastic. I'd be more like along the lines of like Phil Rudd kind of.
Yeah, you just can't play like Gene Hoglan.
Wish I could. Jeez.
To that level of stamina. Though,
yeah.
You're
damn sure wouldn't make a pimple on their ass.
Yeah.
I think that should be some of your therapy. When you can do a few things, just play a little bit of jazz, and so you can get everything moving.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a disaster.
I
I love you, but you're a total disaster right now.
Physically
and mentally.
I mean, should we start the timer? Check for another 4 months?
I know. It's
okay. So the 7th of every month, don't fucking go
anywhere.
Ever. Stay at your fucking house.
Yeah.
Don't even ask me to come pick you up, even though I'm only 2 miles around the corner. Just stay the fuck home.
It's like this year's been shit for me. Like my dad died on the 1st, the 7th of January. The 7th, I had the wreck. The 13th of January, my mom died, and then this shit here is just like, man, 22's gave me a swift kick in the balls.
Yeah. Well, 22 is going to kick everybody in the nuts here soon, from what I hear. Politics. Yeah.
To a point.
But along Mike's line, 2020 was
everybody.
Yeah.
Just in terms of personal.
Yeah. Couple kickoff. Brother and sister. Suicide.
Life is beautiful, but it can damn sure be a motherfucker,
Yeah.
And when it wants to hit you, it'll hit you hard.
Yeah.
That's one thing we all have in common, especially viewers, if any, is our love for heavy metal, rock and roll music.
All right. Well, John brought us a treat today. So damn. I mean, really. Well, tell us what you brought us.
Am I allowed to disclose the name of the brand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them what it is. That's just our personal opinion.
It's called Warnus Gruner. Every time I go to Aldi grocery, I buy it because I'm a beer drinker, and to me, it's the best beer that they carry.
Yeah.
They carry a lot of, people would consider them, I don't know, like not like a main brand of product, kind of like Save a Lot or Walmart's brand of stuff, or even Publix or Winn-Dixie's brand of stuff for those in Florida. But their beer, and they're German owned, so it's really good. Germans make damn good beer.
It's like a Pilsner. I didn't read.
It's a German Pilsner. Yeah.
Oh, it is a Pilsner. Yeah. So it's not like it doesn't taste anything like a Heineken.
Yeah. It's a little dark. It's a little on the dark side. It's got some bitter to it, which I like in beer.
Yeah, no, it's robust. I would call it.
Yeah,
it's really good. I like that.
I think it's a great tasting beer.
They sell it in the can. In the 4-pack now for $7, like $6.99, I think. It used to always be in the 6-pack for $5.99. Either way, it's still a good fucking beer. The quantity is about the same, but due to inflation and shit, kind of up a little.
I've also noticed that it doesn't stay on your palate once you take swallow it and goes down, dissipate, just staying heavy on your palate to where it's like some beers. I love all beer. Some beers will just like linger palate. So like this could be something you can drink a few of these, and if you change and drink else, a stout or something, you're not gonna have to scrape the shit off your fucking tongue. You're great tasting. It's not too heavy either. It's like a good dinner beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would go beyond dinner beer. I think that's an all-arounder right there. That's something I could drink at the pool.
Dude, if I can get this shit on tap, man, in a keg,
Oh, yeah. I could drink that after, cutting the lawn. I mean, that'll actually quench your thirst.
Mm-hmm.
I really do like that. That's a good all-arounder.
I'm surprised you haven't had it yet. Audio's right up the road from you. Up here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick some up. What would I get? I would get that not a full devil horn. Broken horn. No?
Which isn't bad for,
We've had some good beers, though, John. So, what would you give it?
Me, I don't know, just because I buy it every time I go to Aldi and I love it. I'll give it a full, Ronnie James Dio pose,
Yeah. Fucking A, man. Mike, what would you give it?
Oh, I'll give it a full Dio. But I love beer. So
Me too.
Yeah, but that is, I do like.
Yeah, and
I do.
And don't get me wrong when I say I love beer. I mean, yeah, we all know I'm a beeraholic. That's my main thing. I do like other things, drink other things, but I look at beers in different categories. Whether it was, like you're saying, go out, bust your ass mowing the grass, come back in. It puts all the vitamins back into you, quenches your thirst. So like a dinner beer, just a good casual sit around drinking type beer. But but like I'm a huge Guinness fan, but I wouldn't go out and mow the grass a hot ass July day and come in and start nailing pints of Guinness. It's just this would be like I would like I'm ready for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I could sit there and drink this beer with a Reuben or eat. I could drink it with Indian food or it's just it's an all around So I give it a full Dio.
It's almost like I guess you could say I don't know how authentic it is in Germany, but like from what I understand, it could be like because it's a German product import.
Yeah.
It could be Germany's Budweiser, Bud Light, Coors, whatever, what have you, like a main brand here,
right?
But over there,
I bet they probably wish they were as big as Heineken. This blows Heineken way the fuck out of the water.
Yeah, I prefer this over Heineken or Stella.
I like Stella, but
Stella's good.
I like this one.
Them fucking pony kegs though from Heineken though, man, I love them.
Right. And I do like it better than the whole Iron Maiden line. And that's you look at me. Like
blasphemy!
It's like,
how dare you?
No, I do. It is a good.
That's something I haven't had. Is any of like what I consider I call them designer beers.
Oh,
you got the AC/DC brew. You got the Iron Maiden brew. Kiss has got one.
I thought I gave you an Iron Maiden beer, the Trooper, didn't I?
Shit.
If you did, I don't remember.
Or you just never drank it. You put it up somewhere because you said you weren't going to drink it. And I was like, dude.
It's got to still be at your house. I don't think I took it home.
I brought it to you when I brought you that barbecue that I made.
And I drank it.
Okay.
I'm just the engineer. I don't get a taste of it.
But did they have them on the at the ABC store on US One?
Okay.
I mean, we could
Well,
get
you're
them.
not really much of a beer guy anyway.
I haven't really. I haven't drank enough of it to develop a palate for it.
That's cute.
I want to try some of that that mead that you made the other week that you were talking about. If you had any of that,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that give me a bottle. I'm gonna whenever we get a chance, I want to try it.
Mead is the
Well,
shit.
you like the last bottle.
That's why we own fucking horns.
Yeah, I mean,
2 Vikings and a Native
we can
American.
do a full blown. We can do a full blown drinking episode here.
Maybe that's why we get along.
You know what? I'll tell you what.
Right?
Vikings didn't slaughter from what I was told when they came to North America.
No, they came here, we partied, you guys went back home.
So we are going to do not to mention, we still have our band picks. Are you finished with your band pick? Motherfucker, I am the one lagging behind.
Oh, you fucking slacker.
I finished mine a while ago.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I finished mine.
I was kind of piecing mine together today, like just in my brain. I think I got it.
Right. I mean, shit.
I actually had
I
mine
guess we'll
ready
do
Friday
those,
last week.
but I do want to do a drinking episode, which everybody's gonna end up having a ride home.
Get drunk, get smashed on
Well,
stream.
yeah, we want to get smashed. I'm going to break out some meat.
Fucking thrash juice. Bring it.
We got to go down to our favorite store. I got to get that bottle of Redstone, like I said, we were going to review. A couple of beers.
Get the fucking trooper too.
I got a trooper here.
Okay.
Skull splitter.
But no, I want to line up. I want to line up shot glass of beer and mead. And we are going to do a full-blown drinking episode. We're going to have like 10 shot glasses of.
No, this can't happen.
Have our favorite can.
This can't happen without Farron. You gotta have Farron here.
Yeah,
too.
we'll have Farron in here. Yeah. So
You need to get like a horseshoe table.
what we're going to do is we're going to get a kind of a triangular half moon or wedge.
Yeah.
Like a,
Crescent moon.
yeah, and try to set it in the corner here, and then we're all going to sit. And
I still got that desk for Jesse. We just got to get it out of my house. sometime.
I've been meaning to go down and pick that up from you.
Okay. I got my dad's remains and stuff on it. I got to get everything off of there. But when we get a chance, yeah, because it's a nice desk. It was when I was working at home and stuff. It's wood and iron, so it's
we're gonna get longer cables, the whole bit. We're gonna do some revamping a little bit. I definitely want to get 10-foot more on cables, route them differently, so people get the camera set up better, so it's us. And he can turn a camera on and look at him and split the screen, but he won't do it.
Do that at any time.
Yeah, you do that anytime. He doesn't like to be.
No,
Just heard.
Bitch.
He's the man behind the curtains. He's
Well,
odd. He's
how
the
much
wizard
do I
of Oz.
actually
Yeah,
talk?
strings.
You
He's-
guys
he's
are
a
talking
puppet
way more
master.
than I do.
but when you talk, it's important.
Well, I guess we can turn it on to where every time you talk, it'll flash over to you.
There's
Automatically.
I saw one of the guys when I wasn't here. One of the things that you guys did, because I can't get the stitch or whatever it is, but on the YouTube,
Yeah.
and I saw you on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. We put it on the tubes like the day after.
I
we're
try
gonna,
either Sunday or Monday.
yeah,
I've been
we're gonna
trying.
try to. I know there's a program. Everybody, whoever's watching out there, starting out, and we're getting. This is kind of we're going by painting by numbers.
First a
We're
bunch of
trying
rooks.
to.
But there's a program we can stream to like places.
Last time I used everything now.
Yeah.
Facebook too would probably be a good platform
we can do that
because of all the metal friends that we have and follow. We send them an invite to like the page.
Right.
They'll get notifications when Facebook goes live. They'll either take the time to watch it or not, or they'll at least view it for a few seconds, and that's still, hey, we got more views, whatever.
Oh, yeah,
But-
sure. Shit, man. Yeah, back to some darker shit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Trevor Strnad of, I just knew him as Trevor as a Black Dahlia murder. I didn't know him at all, but,
Miller.
identify, hey, yeah, Trevor, yeah, Black Dahlia. He shot himself.
Oh, shit.
that's how he
That's
did
what happened.
Yeah, from, that's my understanding. That's what I've been told. I did not read the news on that, so let me double check to make sure. So I don't.
No. That was actually right by our house. But no, the lead singer of the Black Dahlia murder.
Oh, when did this?
Yeah, this happened like a few days ago, I think.
Yeah, almost. Well, it was
Almost
like
about a
Monday
week
or
ago.
Tuesday. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was earlier this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Contact information was given to the national. There's no cause of death given.
Yeah.
They were giving out suicide hotline.
Kind of narrows it down.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Well, so he may not have shot himself. He may have hung himself. But it's
suicide, nonetheless.
Death by suicide. Suicide's nasty.
It does, and I've lost a couple of very close to mine. I can't understand. I mean, I've been in some serious depression in my life, but thoughts never crossed my mind to want to take my own life, or hurt myself in general. I don't know what drives people to that point.
Emptiness.
I don't know, but please reach out to somebody. I mean,
I'm going to let you guys know that
Shit.
This is hardcore. This is my metal perspective on it. Suicide is for bitches. I'm sorry, you're gonna swallow a bullet, hang yourself, or slit your wrist in the tub. Unless you're dying, have terminal illness, or there's no reason, because you will find somebody that loves you. I mean, there's always
and that's
somebody
the problem.
to call.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you're hurting those who truly love and care for you.
But there's also people like Chris Cornell, man. I mean, there's people that are like him. I mean, he was fucked up mentally, and the medication that he was on made him unstable.
Right.
I mean, that suicide, it's a wide spectrum of what makes someone do that, because I've struggled with depression and had considered it not just say I'm just, life sucks, pity me. I was just at an end where I just didn't see no light at the end of the tunnel. I'm glad I didn't do it, because I've got a beautiful grandson that I still have to meet, and I've accomplished a lot of great things, and I got a handsome son and great friends. You know what I mean? So I'm very
metal will save your life.
Yeah.
Too.
Well,
absolutely.
And you do know you have people love you.
Yeah. So I'm lucky. I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
But there are people out there that there's to them in their mind, because there's so many levels of the subconscious brain that people dwell in madness all the time, and they just don't see an end to any type of situation, whatever it is that they're dealing with, and they don't. Sometimes they may think that they don't have a lifeline, or they just can't see that they have a lifeline. And so, I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. Now, like, for some piece of shit like this motherfucker over here the other day that killed his fucking girlfriend, and then he shot himself in the fucking head, that's a piece of shit.
That was like a quarter mile from the house. Crystal heard the gunshot that morning.
Oh, you heard that?
Crystal did. She grabbed her 9.
So the reason that cocksucker probably did it is because he knew that he was either facing a hard prison sentence, and didn't want to get fucked in the ass because he couldn't fight, or he was afraid of living on death row, facing death penalty. So he tried to the easiest way out. Now he
couldn't even kill himself, right? Because clinically he was still alive for 3 hours.
Right.
But having read some of the reports, this girl was only 24 years old. She was a RN. She was somebody. She was somebody special. She helped people. Yeah. And apparently this guy was like a firefighter or an ex-firefighter, and there was a restraining order against him from her. Yeah. And I don't know like the whole story, but from what the report was, police report or local news said, was she got in her truck. The dude showed up, friggin' shot her through the window, killed her. Then he turned the gun on himself, and then the neighbor that was outside heard it, called the police. When police got there, paramedics, and claimed he was clinically alive for a certain amount of hours before he died in the hospital.
I think that's a bitch way out.
Shit like that. Like, if you're gonna kill yourself, don't take somebody with you.
Right.
Especially somebody like that. They don't fucking.
But the mental illness aspect of it, I mean, there's so many people that live in the darkness and can't, as much as you try to tell someone, hey, and this is why I know you got me, and I didn't today because I'm on crutches, but I always try to give you guys hugs, and if I don't tell you I love you or something, I at least try to hug people, because I want them to know if this is my last moment on earth, I want people to know that I care. You know,
Yeah.
I could have died the other fucking night. So, and I think it's important that, you know, it ain't being a fucking homo or no sissified shit to tell someone, hey, I love you. You know, it makes you more of a brother to tell someone that, because they may need to hear that day that they probably could have, you know, walked in and strung themselves up.
You could have saved their lives.
That's the thing I wanted to mention was tell people all day long, hey, just reach out to somebody. But luckily, you're one of the people who you don't have to reach out to me. I'm going to let you know I love you.
Right.
You will go out of your way to check upon your friends every now and then.
But
granted, you can't do that all the time,
Right.
but when you can, check upon your friends.
Well, like I said, if I can cut in, I lost a couple of really good friends to suicide. One I grew up with in California.
Yeah.
I knew him my whole life. He was older than me. I've known him literally since before I can remember. Young child. From what I understand, sign, maybe because I hadn't seen him in so long, life, I didn't see any signs. He was also in the Marine Corps.
Well, that's a one thing that
He left behind his son.
I would actually possibly give a, not God, but the damage done by fighting. Just by hell, you can be in a
High stress conflict.
high stress situation just by fighting, and I can understand where that gets to, and there's nobody to talk to. You feel that that's where you get the Chris Kyles and Lieutenant what's his face, he does. You remember Danny, whatever, the guy I was watching
That does all the skits and stuff?
does all the skits.
Yeah.
I
don't remember his
he
name, but
talks to soldiers, but I get that. I understand that. Simple thing is if I called you and I said, hey, John, talk, and you're like, I'm kind of busy, and if I turn around and I said, hey, I really need to.
Yeah, I'd drop everything
just
I'm
be on
doing.
the phone. And that would be a hint to
Yeah.
hey, guess what? I'm going to drop my shit and we're going to talk, because,
Yeah.
some people can take that hint. I'm not saying everybody can, but when it's laid out there pretty heavy,
yeah.
a lot of people,
I don't take it lightly. And like I said before, I don't understand what would really drive somebody to do that, but I'm not going to be someone because I don't feel like I would ever do that. I can't really say that because I've never been there to the point where I would have those thoughts. But it's not something I take lightly. I don't think anyone's a coward for doing it necessarily. But I just want people to understand that regardless of whether you're a veteran or not, doesn't matter. Everybody has things in life that happen to them. They could get to a very low point. I've been to a very low point. Never had those feelings, but I was a bad alcoholic. When it did happen, going through a divorce and everything. But but people love you. People care for you, no matter who you are. There's somebody there that will listen, that will get you help. Shit, fucking, people could call me, a complete
Right.
stranger, somebody watching the show, the podcast, doesn't matter.
right.
I'm not gonna blow anybody off because like I said, and another really good friend of mine who was actually, in my unit, who was senior to me, like I was a lance corporal. He picked up and in a while longer. He was the shop clown. He was a funny motherfucker. I love that guy. And he EAS, did his thing. I don't know what happened along the lines of between his separation, what led up to him taking his own life. But I said, I don't. Yeah.
A lot of the times, the people
Right.
that do end their life, there's two types. They're the ones that withdraw because in their minds, I call it dwelling in darkness, because they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They just feel the demons or whatever's eating at them, and they have nothing but helplessness. And other type of person is what I call the suicide clown, is the person that you see every day with a smile on their face. They make you laugh and you think everything's okay, but on the inside they're really crying and they're hurting. And those are the hardest ones to determine. Hey man, this motherfucker needs a hug. Oh yeah, he needs to come over to the house, let's have dinner, drink a beer. You don't know, because they hide it so well. And I mean, that's why, suicide, and a lot of it's mental illness that goes undiscovered. I mean, I believe me, I've been through it. I've had to be on antidepressants and a mood stabilizer because some of the shit that I've been through. And
Well, that's also another good thing we live in the society that we live in now. We have the internet stuff, because out to complete strangers, and you might get rejected. You probably get rejected by a bunch of them. Doesn't mean you stop. Keep reaching out. And then there's also the bad part of it, where now we have developed so much medical technology that they start tossing pills at people. Well, sometimes those medications make someone worse. And
that
leads right back down to a horrible spot.
That's why, not to step aside from the suicide situation, like what happened with me the other night. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when they put somebody on medications like that, they shouldn't just give them a bottle of fucking pills or a script, go to Winn-Dixie and get your fucking pills and go home. Because you don't know how they're going to. They need to keep them in house and evaluate them to see how, because it affects your body, your chemical levels in your body naturally. So if they're out of whack, they're a little further out of whack instead of out. Yeah, it's like what they did with the hospital. I had fucking head trauma. So I'm out of my fucking head. They let me go at 7:00 in the morning with no clothes, cut my clothes off of me, gave me a pair of fucking crutches, wheeled me out, and he said, "Here's a bus ticket." I didn't have my phone. I couldn't think of anybody's number. I didn't know who to call. My head's all messed up from banging my head up. I could have walked out there in the street and done something stupid, or walked out in front of a car not knowing what I was doing. They would have been liable for that shit. Yeah. And they shouldn't have done that. They should have at least kept me longer, or at least made an effort to get someone that knows me to come get me and say, okay, we'll be responsible for him and watch over him. And sit me on the fucking street with a pair of crutches and get back to Titusville. Same kind of thing.
I think that's discussing itself. The health system is shit. And that's me. It's my kind of a liberal side. Americans, and I'm going to true American, like born, not green carded, talking naturalized, took the test, did the due diligence to do it. People who are enrolled in becoming a should benefit from being an American, not people. And and this is where I'm going with this, is it's the funding, and that's what everybody's going to bitch at. It's like, get the fucking money. Well, I know damn well where we can get the fucking money, but nobody's going to say it. If we took care of our own, and that's the thing is we need somebody who's going to take care of our own. And the Ukraine thing. Now, what I say about Ukraine pisses off a lot of people. I'm like, fuck Ukraine. I'm all for the U.S. $40 billion would go a long way for helping people in the fucking hospital. Not giving guns to fucking Ukraine to solve their own fucking problem. Yeah. Now, if they step into a ally situation, step into Poland, we're kind of obligated. I get that, but Ukraine is not an obligation to it. $40 billion should be spent fucking paper gowns on people and bus tickets. And good luck. Bullshit. Yeah, I had there, but that's just. I think it's disgusting what they do.
Well,
And we get a lot of that shit in Los Angeles on TV. Haven't you?
yeah. But I think a lot of, like, with my situation is, well, I mean, like, the people that did actual medical, I mean, were very kind, especially the female doctor and the above and beyond.
Right.
And very gentle with me. But it was when they released me, it was, and I'm not getting racial because I don't look at color. If anybody knows me, I'm just not that way. But it was 4 black chicks and 1 Hispanic chick sitting at a desk talking shit. I has to be doing my nails and whatever they were talking, And here comes along someone that looks like me, it's tattooed. My face was, you see me, but and it was worse when before you first see me. My eyes were swollen shut. I was all fucked up. They probably thought I was some kind of fucking homeless person. Probably why they didn't give a shit. And it shouldn't matter because when you take that fucking oath, to work in that field, regardless if it's administrative or if it's in a actual physical response medically to someone, you shouldn't judge anybody by what they look like. And I think that's what it was. They're like, wow, this is just either a piece of shit biker or a.
Yeah, I think it goes beyond that. I think you should be out there no matter like what race or whatever, what color ever you see.
Yeah.
I think it's help a brother or this is place any fucking better when people.
And my mom's an RN, and I believe she told me if you're an RN or like an actual MD, doctor,
Right.
that you have to like swear an oath, to actually like help people and administer them in the least amount of pain as possible, regardless.
Yeah, but it's the final decision. It's the hospital kick you out the fucking door. They don't have to.
That's really they could
All money.
have they didn't have to put me in a room or anything, but they could have kept me there longer and at least like they knew that I lived here in
Right.
I'm in downtown fucking Orlando. It could have been like no, they did send in a chaplain. Poor woman, but side she kept asking me who can I call, and I kept trying to tell her I can't. I don't know. I can barely remember my fucking name and what just happened. But I think that nothing against her. I think just held me there. This guy just had massive fucking head. Not going to fucking street. Or at least some kind of fucking like taxi.
Right.
Back here. Transfer me to Parish Hospital.
Well, they could have held you there until you got your bearings, at least. Hey, is there anybody? Well, I don't know. Is not yeah. We can. I don't know. It's like yeah. On this guy.
And see, right here, this is what happened. And right here, that's from Orlando East.
No, don't hurt yourself. Oh, nice.
That's media. I was 30 feet in the air when I had my own company. I almost cut my leg off. They never even took it out of my leg. Never gave me anything for fucking pain. So, like, when I broke my shoulder, my bike, they were like, we're taking you to the hospital. I said, no, you're not. I said, I will wait. I was in fucking major pain that night. I said, I'll wait until I get back to Brevard. I will not go to the hospital. The only reason I went to ORMC that night is because I had no choice. I was on a fucking turning in the fucking back of an ambulance. I do not like Orlando Hospital. But
yeah, shit. I'm there are a lot of things, but you know me. I'm all about protection. I want people to get a fucking job, earn their keep, not have me fucking pay for them. Everybody feels once you get a couple bucks to rub together, it's hard to part with them, especially when somebody's not going to do their due diligence to get the fuck out of their seat and go get a job.
Yeah, and you know, if you actually work for a living and
Yeah.
do something productive to society, and something happens, I believe you should earn some compensation.
Right. I don't think you should be treated as
No,
a
no,
slave or indentured servant,
no.
by just getting enough to survive. I think you should get, for doing high value work. Now, with McDonald's and shit, on the other hand, yeah, that's not a career. I'm talking careers and shit. Some people building,
Well,
building
I
things,
thought it was
getting
this
like,
morning because I thought their drive-through was 24/7, and I'm there at 4:30 a.m. and it's closed.
yeah.
Well, which
'Cause I'm
one?
the one on Garden and the one on over here on 50, 405 and 50 because I went into work at 5 a.m. and I was
Yeah,
gonna
they're
feed,
like-
I was going to feed everybody.
I know the one by my house is. It's always
$40
open.
an hour, man, to do flip a burger.
Yeah,
Holy
well, here's the thing. Okay, now I've noticed it, and you're gonna pay a 16-year-old kid $15 an hour to dump fries in a fucking full vat, flip a burger, but okay, you gotta ask. 'Cause I remember back in the day when I don't care where the fuck you went, you got salt, pepper, mustard, ketchup, napkins, straws without having to fucking ask. If they're gonna pay someone that fucking much, I want that shit in my bag when I get my order. If that should come like
Yeah, and it better be
Right.
100% guaranteed, or you get some money back or something.
fuck yeah.
14 an hour, 15 an hour, whatever the fuck it is.
Well, I'm just saying that is at most $9 an hour.
Well, okay. If they want to pay those guys that much, I do not have a problem with it. But I think that you should take people of our skill level, put us up to where we belong.
Yeah.
Higher 20s, 30 level.
Right.
They
won't do that.
No, they're not.
Everything's gone like this. But
Yeah, that's more of a company discretion. Yeah.
Lower middle class and poor.
But if you're somebody with a skill that's had a skill for machinist for how
33 years.
30 plus years, so
Yeah.
you should have a much higher, say you work somewhere, you should have a much higher starting pay than somebody who's fresh out of, trade school.
Right.
Because you
Well,
have
I remember
3 years of experience.
I remember my
3
first
years of
machine shop
texture.
job. You know how much I made an hour? My first machine shop job, I was making $5.35 an hour.
Yep.
And that was average pay back then. I mean, you were shitting in high cotton when you got up to 9.50, 9.70, and when you got to double digits, and you were top dog. 10, 11, $12 an hour. Now, I mean, that's just you can't afford to run stuff on it. Not with the way the pay scale and the cost of living today, which is completely different. It's yin and yang, man. White and black. There's no middle ground like it. Back in the 50s and the 60s, 70s, and 80s, even in the 90s, you could be a mechanic, a machinist, any of the high skilled trades, and earn a good living, take care of a family, and your wife could actually stay at home and work if she wanted to. Now, both people work. You're still struggling. I don't get it.
Now, I worked at Home Depot for $11.50. I worked my fucking, and I'm hearing these. I don't know what they're son of the bitches yet.
You can't go to an actual fucking checkout line without going to the self checkout line.
I mean, how do you fuck up a burger? Flip. Everything's on fucking top.
Yeah.
Some of them, the fry machine automated for. All you got to do is fries in and hit a button, it'll go down. Some are actual fucking arms and but $14 an hour, man. That's insane. And that to me, the manager, I get the manager, but that to me, when you're 30-year-old, unless you've fallen on hard times, you shouldn't be doing that job. Career. McDonald's is not management unless you did the time. Hey, I was 16 years old and I went to college and they decided to promote me to manager. Now I'm making, which managers don't make shit.
Oh no.
I saw the sign over there, $16 an hour
Yeah.
to be a manager.
Yeah.
Man, fuck you.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a stepping stone into, let's say,
Business management.
or basic skill level, or even the culinary.
Right.
Well,
You get started at McDonald's as a cook, and you work your way up to another actually a dine-in restaurant to to the big leagues, like fine dining, whatever. If that's your passion as a to be a chef or whatever.
Most of those guys that end up in the management positions in Wendy's and McDonald's and shit like that end up. I mean, unless they stay there and that's satisfactory for them, end up going into like hotel management or
some kind of hospitality.
Yeah. And make some of them get up into six figures with that shit. So.
That's cool.
I have mad respect for anybody that works in the food industry because I love food.
Yeah, well, who
so long as they're an honest worker, and,
tip your waitress.
Yeah.
By God,
absolutely. They all have my respect.
Absolutely.
They're working to pay their bills, take care of a family, just like the rest of us.
I'm an asshole, and Jesse knows this. I grade my waiter and waitress, and I have walked away with giving $1 because somebody that fucking awful. I sat in a restaurant for an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I was ignored for the first 30 fucking.
Oh, that's bullshit.
And
I agree with you on
when
that.
I got the food, it was cold, and I'm like,
I never send my food back.
That fucking $1, man.
I never send my food back. I've seen waiting too much.
I would never send the food back.
Anna used to be bad about that. And when we first met, she was like, "This is overcooked or this is undercooked," and I was like, "Don't do that. Don't do that." She was like, "No, when I'm paying for this, I want it my way." I was like,
"No, I
gotcha."
Tell them take it back. I'm not paying for this shit.
Yeah, I would rather just take it back, not pay for it, and get up and leave. Because I showed her the movie Waiting. I was like, if you think this shit don't fucking happen, you're out of your goddamn mind.
There are stories, man, that dudes back in the day, and
Back when
told this story
you
back,
get away with it.
like an IHOP situation.
Yeah.
With people with bad acne popping their zits in the
Oh, we had one
popping their dicks in the fucking vat and pissing while
We had a guy at Hardee's back in Virginia in Roanoke. Fucking was masturbating in the fucking milkshakes.
Yeah.
That's another reason why.
It's easy to hide, I guess.
Jack at the Box used to be in Virginia, but a guy started beating off in like mayonnaise or some of the sauces, and it ended.
That's why it happened. Because I fucking love Jack. Do you remember from California?
Yeah, I remember all the
Jack in the
commercials
Box
with the
was
fucking
shit.
with the fucking dude with the Jack in the Box head,
Yeah.
with like his little Jack in the Box family,
Yeah.
like his kids and his wife.
When
had
did
the fucking
Virginia
head and
have it?
shit.
Yeah.
I must have been down here or living in New York.
It was a while ago. It was.
I think it's more of a West Coast
Well, no,
chain.
It was out there.
went
It left like
a year before we got there.
yeah. We had just missed it, so it was.
I don't ever remember seeing.
Oh, yeah, I was
Jack in the
down
Box
here.
out this way.
I remember we had Whataburger for a while, man, and I loved them. And now it's a Zaxby's, and I went in there. I don't know what. Every time I've gotten something from Zaxby's, it was shit. But when Whataburger had it right in front of the Publix in Bithlo. Oh shit! Any time of the day, 24 hours.
I
Their shit.
like Zaxby's. Zaxby, I think, has some damn good wings, like their boneless wings, even their traditional wings too. I prefer traditional.
Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just that one, because that's the only one I've
Could
ever
be.
been to. But
Their sweet tea is.
I'll tell you what. If I ever caught anybody doing that,
oh, they're dead.
I don't give a shit if it's Mike Tyson doing it.
the beer.
I will find a way to fuck your day up.
Oh,
I am gonna fucking hurt you,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna know it because you're gonna fucking wake up three
Well,
fucking months later.
Another thing that's a downside of having sort of trends. It became, strangely enough, a trend not amongst the food industry, rather, or open up containers of like tea,
Fuck these
ice
people.
cream, or something like that, and spitting in it because they thought it was funny, and then taking videos of it and it to Instagram or some shit.
That's just your poster children for pro-abortion.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
these are people who should never reproduce ever.
And I'm completely pro-abortion on that shit. There's motherfuckers that should not breed.
Actually, they call it murder now, but
Calling the herd.
Oh,
Fucking Exodus.
That right there is that's a sure way to get a fucking pint of yogurt or a pint of fucking ice cream shoved down your throat or up your ass.
Or a pint of lead. And fucking, 9
2
millimeter
ounces
doses.
of lead. Yeah. At 115 grains of pop.
So, what the fuck were we talking about? We got way off topic.
we
You guys were talking about hospitality.
So
and,
we were talking about
and
the Black Dahlia murder.
No, well, this is all of it.
It's true. we
Gimpy over here, he's not going to handle anybody unless he hits him with a crutch.
I got two of them.
I don't know if his shoulder will let him.
I think he's got one good arm left.
No, they're both messed up. They're both messed up now.
Remember, on South Park, Jimmy beating the brakes off of Timmy?
Yeah,
Cripple fight?
that's what it is.
But
You got Jimmy over here.
But yeah, but we were talking about the Black Dahlia murder, and then it led to the discussion about suicide. But
Oh yeah, it was Donnie O'Malley was the vet that helps other vets. So if you're a vet, get in contact with Donnie O'Malley. I mean, he does a thing. Sure, there's ways.
or even like your local American Legion, VFW.
you talk to anybody.
There's guys there that sponsor you if you have issues with the VA.
Post your number on our email, so your number, we'll call you. Yeah, man. None of us care.
We care,
help
but
anybody. Well, no, we don't care. It's a time.
Yeah.
Our time is.
You're not bothering us.
More valuable than your life. So,
Yeah.
But that's where I'm saying I don't care. It's just my time doesn't matter compared to your life.
But
We have a comment, by the way. It says it's good to see you, and she's hope you're feeling.
Oh, awesome.
No, she's watching.
So yeah, about the Black Dahlia murder, his name was Dave. Not to sound like a jack off, but I never listened to the Black Dahlia murder. I don't know if you guys have or not, but my heart,
shabby.
my heart goes out to the family, the band members, the fans.
Right.
It's a shitty thing when especially not only for the band members and families, but when you're a fan, somebody that you grew up listening to, someone that you idolize, you lose them, whether it's suicide or not. They're gone. It sucks.
Yeah.
What was it? 2019. We lost like 3 fucking big heavy hitter drummers. We lost Neil Peart. We lost Reed Mullen.
Yeah, Reed Mullen from COC.
We lost somebody else too.
My brain's scrambled eggs.
But yeah, friggin' it sucks. I mean, part of life, but especially when it's like when you're a metalhead, and you lose your icons, your idols, it really fucking hits you hard.
Yeah.
I remember in 2010 when fucking Dio died. That sucked.
That actually, because he's
I wasn't at my MLS school, but I was like, no fucking way, because that was like one of my bucket lists.
Yeah, he's an influence.
I remember
That's
Trisha
why.
cried for that.
Yeah, because he was an influence on a lot of people. He was a reason.
My son called me and told me about that.
Yeah.
I just was floored.
And it was kind of early, I mean, a lot of people that are living on that probably shouldn't live on.
And the ones that are past.
That they shouldn't be running.
The thing about with Neil dying, for me being a drummer, that was so traumatic. I mean, it was like somebody hitting me in the gut and taking my wind with like a sledgehammer, because not just for the progressive rock and metal community or the drumming community, just for people that like music. Everybody knew who Rush was. Everybody knew who Neil Peart was, but nobody knew he had issues. And I had seen him on the last tour that I saw him on was Scrambled Egg Brains was
I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like.
Neither have I.
They're a good fucking band.
I think it was like maybe R40. I can't remember, but it was over in Tampa. But and I could tell when Neil did his solo. I mean, even though he still had the grace of the Professor, I could tell it just wasn't the Neil Peart that I had seen live before. But I just thought, man, he's getting older. He doesn't move like he did before. And he necessarily didn't really have to because he changed his whole setup, more of a ergonomic type kid. But he was struggling the whole time, and only a certain select group knew that. So brain cancer. It doesn't matter who it is. When it's someone like that, I'm so close. I mean, when Eddie Van Halen died, same thing. That kicked me in the nutsack, man. I mean, I was like, the king's gone.
Or Dimebag, Chuck Schuldiner,
And that piece of shit, motherfucker that shot Dimebag. Jesus.
Chuck Schuldiner too, passed away of brain cancer.
Yeah.
That was a real hard loss to the, extreme metal community.
Yep.
Diehard death metal fans. I mean, shit. Like I said, death is definitely one of the great. Being somebody is bad.
Any musician that dies, it's
Jeff Hanneman. I remember when.
Fuck yeah! That was weird though.
Yeah.
That wasn't just like having some kind of disease or an illness. It was from a fucking spider bite.
Yeah.
That was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Well, I think it impacts people more when they're working musicians or working bands or working singers who kick off because their work is not done, and people are wanting to listen to more, and they're still a big influence in life. It's not like Ringo Starr died tomorrow. It's like.
It would mean something to me. I'm a Beatles fan.
Now, back in the day when they were when he was putting out music, they were putting out music, it to me it'd be a bigger deal. Like Dio is a big deal because he wasn't done.
Same with Lemmy.
And it really sucked. Lemmy wasn't done. Some of these people that have passed and weren't in bands and that are retired, it's like it's a bummer, but they were done, and their vision, and that's what gets me is their vision's not done. And Ronnie James Dio probably had a good 3 fucking albums left in him.
I tell you one thing when Vinnie Paul died, it was a shock, but because one of my favorite drummers, I love Vinnie. He was a heavy hitter. But if you go back and look to a couple of those like Metal Injection interviews, you could actually see he had like a lot of water weight and his color had gotten really bad. So it made sense after the fact. I mean, I was still, the Abbott brothers are complete royalty.
I really wish, and I really wish, speaking of Vinnie Paul, that him and like Phil could have reconciled before that happened,
Me too.
Not necessarily do what all the diehard Pantera fans wanted, which was like a Pantera like tribute reunion or whatever.
With Zach doing it,
right? But at least say I'm sorry. So this is what happened. Let's be friends again. I wish that could have happened at least.
Considering we were talking about suicide, I do have the number for it's in chat. But just so for reading chat right now, it's 1-800-273-8255. Suicide prevention.
Suicide prevention.
10-4.
Please give it a call. Give somebody a call, and kind of stress to them without scaring the shit out of them. Hey, we should talk. I really bottom my. I need to talk to somebody. And hopefully they're not dense enough not to get.
Yeah. Hey, I'm having a bit more of a rough day. Mind.
Rougher than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it would be real hard to like talk to your mom, find a good uncle or aunt or a good friend that would understand and wouldn't blow them out of the water. And I get people don't want people calling the cops or a hospital. I think that's what scares people. That would scare the shit out of me if I talk to someone. Oh, maybe I should call a doctor. Whoa. whoa.
No. You don't want to be drug out of there and you're out of your house in a fucking white.
It's like in
a white coat.
I want them to toss me into a fucking straight jacket.
A straight jacket. That's what I meant.
You know, some kind of trauma going on in their life.
Police
That's
is
what
not
they
the
fucking
answer.
need.
No, they're just there to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
A
Don't
friend-
call government to help you. You just try to stay as far away from government. People need to figure out how to do things for themselves.
We gotta police our own.
Yeah. You know, calling loved ones, even a stranger in the 1-800. Well, what is it?
1-800-273.
And calling somebody at the suicide prevention hotline, a stranger to talk to, who was just there to help. You know,
That's what they're there for. And
if you know someone and you know and you can pick up on it, man, there's nothing better than a good buddy and a 6-pack of beer and a long talk.
you know, we really shot this podcast to shit with fucking depression, man.
It was being a bit more of a
fucking
drinking
dark.
one.
Well, part of the headline was the Black Dahlia murders frontman.
Yeah.
Well, and the title is
We elaborated quite a bit.
And the title is Mike Back from the Grave. So.
Okay.
That too.
Mike's back from the grave. Well, I got some more news. Rob Zombie news. Monster's done filming.
All right.
Shit.
Yes, and and they call it scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt's a big weird thing with Patrick Duffy, like South Park. Well, it says that it's moving from Peacock. The rumor is it's going to be a free movie, so it's going to be on Netflix. So
I was kind of hoping it would be on the it would actually come out in theaters and be like a big theatrical hit.
Come out in theaters too, because I would have thrown some money at that
for
sure. The first fucking week.
Oh yeah.
I definitely want to review that and compare it to the old one.
You know, Rob Zombie, he's the guy that makes what he wants.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether it succeeds or not. He enjoys it. I mean, he has how many different movies, and it's not like any of them really got a House of a Thousand Corpses.
I thought his
is a fantastically scary movie. Really
That's
messed up.
I thought his Halloween remakes were.
Halloween was good.
Especially the first one because it was so much, and taking nothing away from John Carpenter's version of it. I like Rob Zombie's so much more because you ask me, like with all the taking Dracula away, all the horror guys. This is my guy.
Me too.
Been since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And to
that's the
go
boogeyman.
To go that far in depth with Michael's backstory.
Yeah, give him an origin.
Yeah. It meant so much to me to see that, and he did such a great job.
Because it had to have shocked people though. The original, with Jamie Lee Curtis and all that, like the very beginning, to where it's just like him as the little kid putting on the mask and he's stabbing his sister to death. That's still pretty fucking gruesome, for its time.
Like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from John Carpenter's version at all. I love it. But Rob Zombie just for some reason everything that he does to me is it's a masterpiece, and it's done with a lot of just soul behind it. It's not like he's forced to get out to try to make. He don't give a shit whether it gets nominated for awards or whatnot. It's all about the artistic value and interpretation.
Well, what I liked about the second one too that he did was, the first one was more of a remake, to the original, whereas the second one was, he comes after her in the hospital, and they showed that scene kind of did with that immediately, like the first few minutes of the whole movie, but he comes back again after Laurie Strode.
Right.
And it was like almost like you could say it was like a part 3 of the original, saga, but with Jamie Lee Curtis's character, not her, obviously, but Laurie Strode, the character.
There's something too that I like about what Rob does is, kind of like Tim Burton, but Rob uses a lot of the same people. And I dig that, man. That shows brotherhood and unity,
right?
Because
he's like the director and the producer.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So I just everything he does, man. I've Lords of Salem, people told me that movie sucked. I watched it. I was like, I don't get it. I thought it was great. You know, I mean, it's a little off, but it was a fucking great movie.
Yeah.
So, also in news today, besides the movie, we're going to have to do movie Monsters. I'll have to come watch it and have a few.
Oh hell yeah!
Bless you.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.
But David Bowie's iconic $5 million motor yacht, El Caran, whatever, is up for sale. David Bowie's yacht's up for sale.
If anyone's interested,
it's probably going to go for maybe a little more than $5 million, but I would hope not. It's a lot of money for a.
I'd be a little more interested in having the damn acoustic guitar he had with, you know, when he did the Spiders from Mars and shit, you know, Ziggy Stardust, something from that era. That right there, you couldn't give me something like that. I'd be like, so what? It's a yacht.
Yeah, but you know, if you're into that kind of thing, you know, boating and fishing, you know, it's a little big, but you know,
Yeah.
Or you're just into partying out in the fucking sea, you know, there you go.
Yeah. So we also have former Iron Maiden singer Paul Di'Anno launches a 4-horse project, announces his debut.
Wasn't he just like recently in the hospital for some shit?
Yeah, I thought he was going to give up singing for a while.
Oh, so I ordered some Exhorter merch. Not the shirt I'm wearing. I actually got this when I saw him a couple years ago. But I ordered I ordered a koozie and a patch of the law with an and he Kyle Thomas included an Exhorter sticker, and he said, "Thanks, John."
That is fucking cool.
I actually got Kyle Thomas's autograph in that.
That's awesome.
You don't know who Exhorter is.
Yeah, you're missing out.
Fucking some people. There's a dilemma between who copied who.
Does it I mean,
but
you produce music people like.
But to me though, the Law, that album is flawless album. Like one of the greatest. Like I think it's a 10 out of 10. It's too fucking horny. There's not a single track I would skip. I had listened to it from start.
Oh yeah.
Fucking time in the shop.
Yeah, yeah. It was on. Yeah.
It's like that's not Pantera, but you know, sounds like Pantera.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people will say that Pantera. I'm like, no, it's Exhorder. Because I fucking love Exhorder too. Their first two albums, Slaughter in the Vatican and the Law, kick fucking ass. And Slaughter in the Vatican too is another one I think that's. I don't think it's quite as flawless as the Law, but it's another album I can listen to without wanting to skip a track. And then they had almost a 30-year hiatus, and they came back with the guys. That's a good album too. They got Marzi Montazeri on that album, lead guitar player. There's the album review, The Law. It's a fucking 10 out of 10. So was Slaughter in the Vatican.
That's good shit.
Yep.
It really was.
Yep.
Well, it still is. No, it was. It still is. So, a little bit of 10 best new metal songs you'll need to hear right now.
Okay.
Drop
Hear
everything
right
you're
now.
doing.
All right.
Drop everything you're doing. So
I'm listening.
A 4-finger snatch jab.
I'm not.
5-finger death punch jab. I got IOU. I like 5 fingers.
I really listen to them.
4 fingers too, but
I prefer 3 Knuckles Deep. You guys in the death metal scene here in Central Florida, you guys fucking rule.
The Who. This is Mongol. Who doesn't?
Yeah, the Who's good.
Yeah. Fuck. Come on. Oceans of Slumber, Heart of Stone. Motionless in White. Slaughterhouse. Lorna Shore, Sun Eater. Okay. Interesting. Polyphia, playing God. Man, are we out of it? I mean,
Who
because
the
I don't
fuck
know
is
some of
that?
these
I don't
fucking Millennium, Shivering. All right, yeah, I don't, yeah.
The only one I really know that on there that I like is the
I've heard of Bleed Within, Flesh and Stone, Cave in Reckoning, Cave In, song Reckoning. You know, taking a breath because, yeah, okay, some of these fucking names, Cave In, whole band is Cave In.
Okay. Sound like
That
you could be
sound-
opening
sounds
for
like-
Overkill or somebody. I
Yeah,
don't know.
sounds like somebody be playing in high school. Cave In. Stray from the Path, I, or whatever.
Are all these on Relapse Records?
Yeah, because I saw the one relapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, man.
I would say, I mean, they're definitely, if they're on Relapse, man, they're definitely worth checking out because that's a killer fucking
Yeah.
label.
Yeah.
Mastodons, a lot of their shit, I remember, at least in the earlier days, was on relapse.
So-
Obituaries on relapse.
Deceased or Gosselin, and there's a lot of black metal bands got
Death
on
metal.
there.
Yeah, Cattle Decapitation, I believe, is on relapse.
Yeah.
Killer fucking brutal ass band there.
Relapse Records is the shit. I mean, they're carrying the torch. I mean, it was at one time Roadrunner, and then Roadrunner kind of like not saying anything bad about Roadrunner Records, but they kind of went like this a little bit under the radar to where Relapse has never faltered from what they started to be.
Roadrunner relapsed.
Tobias Forge says bands use COVID fears to scrap tours. Weren't,
Oh, definitely. I guarantee bands that.
Is that the dude
Yeah.
from Ghost?
yeah, well, weren't proving as profitable as they wished.
So they used the pandemic as.
Yeah,
the deal
you know
is.
what?
I don't know. 'Cause
Whatever, you know.
a lot of them, I mean, like I said, I just saw the fucking Bay Strikes Back tour, and those guys, other than Testament, didn't seem skittish around.
Right.
But Testament still, even though they were still like doing the whole social distancing thing, they still came out and still fucking touring, so, whatever. And
But-
it's not like they're, amongst, people who are just, discovering metal or that well known of a
Oh,
powerhouse,
Right.
but
I seen something the other day. I didn't read it because my eyes were all messed up and staring at my phone too much is killing me. But something about Udo and Accept. Is anybody?
Schneider,
Yeah. Is there going to be like a collaboration between the two again?
like,
Possibly. I don't know. Has anybody heard anything about it? Because that
All
would
I
be
know-
fucking awesome.
all I know is recently, I want to say like a couple months. I don't know. Also, except released last year.
Maybe they might be touring together. I just saw Udo and Accept in the same. Which I like them both the way they are, but I'm sure it's cool.
I was about to say, for fuck's sake, they could, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame could accept,
Right. Right.
if you know what I mean, obviously, fucking, accept, and Dirk Schneider would, they play, what is it, like their 2 or 3 songs that, heavy hitter songs or whatever.
Fast as a shark.
That Balls to the Wall.
Metal Heart.
Yeah. With Dirk Schneider.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The new guy, though, I
Up to the limit.
don't remember his name, but like on later albums, Blood of the Nations, pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he sounds just like him.
Yeah.
I think they both sound like Brian Johnson.
Yeah, I was getting some grief from my brother-in-law. He said 3 old farts sitting in a row. So I guess
Hey,
That's
an honor.
That's what I got too. He said they're all old.
they're all old.
it's an honor to be amongst the ranks of the elder.
Elder warriors.
What's
Wow.
funny enough?
And
He's older than you.
That's
Was that Roy?
No, that's so. Don't worry. All right. Even you, Davey, at the work. Keep it. Your eye on whatever prize you're looking at.
Who else wants another beer?
I'll take
I
one.
take another beer. I mean, we could break
Intermission.
mission, or we could be done.
Fuck,
We've been on for
whatever. It's up to you guys.
An hour 40.
hour 40.
I can keep blabbering whatever.
No, you can keep blabbering, but I guess we could file out one in a row for intermission. Is, you know, our fucking prostates and stop and go. You know, and get a beer and maybe chew some food in the microphone. So, anyway, yeah, go ahead and drink, and I'll be in here chatting with Jesse over here. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Good to be able to maneuver past her.
Yeah, hey.
Like an obstacle course. She goes in the army, right?
So, how old are you, Mike? They said you
Oh,
were
shit.
53 in the article.
50. Oh, that was JP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
GP
they didn't
driver.
even mention.
They didn't mention the two guys, you and, yeah.
Yeah, because there was 3 others in the car.
That's what I'm saying. It was just one fucking report.
Yeah.
And it was just shitty at best. Come on, man. And I think it's because of riding with a motorcycle club. And
I'm
that's
surprised
shitty.
they didn't put outlaw motors.
Yeah. Wiped out by a
Fake
fucking
news.
charger.
Yeah.
You know, fucking A. Yeah, oh well. Fucking people's kids. Some people's kids. Probably watching fast. That's the first thing he responds with. That's awesome. So, as I've said it once, I'll suckle my tit. Anyway, so what do we got? I was looking at that Yamaha Viking.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pick.
Why not?
Oh well. I got other priorities to do. Like to
Dang.
get going. 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
You know. Fucker move. Not fast as Tesla Plaid. Not this, not that. Well, I figured with all the fiberglass on the part being about 2,300 pounds, it'd probably be pretty quick with 500.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to talk about another YouTuber because I don't want to piss anyone off. Well, actually, I don't give a shit. I really don't, and I don't know this YouTuber. I guess he's got 100,000 subscribers. I don't care. Well, I do, and I do. It's not going to help me out. It may. I don't know. Kind of talking in circles, aren't I? But Mark Garrett has 100,000 subscribers and 8 million views on YouTube. He reacts to extreme metal bands. You know, so kind of like what we do.
Like Stevie T.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess metal perspectives. We're giving our perspective, how we feel. We don't always agree with each other, but where's your beer? Oh, you couldn't carry it back? John's grabbing you one. All right, he better not be hitting my head. That sounded bad.
Are when you're walking with the crutches, are you putting all your weight in? Try bracing yourself with your arms a bit. Biceps. Try and put a little. It'll take the off your shoulder, and it won't dig into your arm.
Just trying, yeah, I'm trying to off my.
Fucking
Yeah.
explaining crutches dick.
How many times have I had crutches?
I'm just making fun of you because you can't retaliate.
Fucking awful, damn it.
God forbid I ever get fucked up. God,
And you lucky bastard. All you've ever had is a cane for like a week, not even.
Well, the one doctor I went to saw on one, I just feel, oh, to be honest, I'll be 50. And he goes, never had any surgeries before? I said, this last January on my shoulder. He's like, man, dude, I had 6 surgeries last year alone.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, it's like, he's like the head doctor there. Dude, he goes, wrecked my car. This guy hit me, and I got out to see if the guy was okay. And then this guy came out of nowhere and beat the shit out of me.
no shit.
Yeah.
Guy came out of nowhere and beat the shit out of the doctor.
Had a roll of coins rolled up in his hand, and he beat the shit out of the doctor.
Jesus.
And fractured his whole face. And he had the same. I gotta have.
I'm wondering if you fucked up somebody's surgery, and that's payback.
Yeah, right.
That sounds like payback to me. That's fucked up shit.
It was supposed to be C1, and you went for C3, you fucker.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back. All right.
And if you go back to Aldi's, do you like any type of like Italian? Okay. They have. I'm a more low kind of guy.
I like the
I like
the dry red. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know that that shop there on they've got real. And I had one glass. I drank the rest of the bottle. Holy shit! I got sick. I was used to that piano. Closest I ever came.
What was this place?
Aldi.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
It comes in the round bottle. It has like
Winking Owl or brand?
oh, I can't remember. I just looked at it. It was from Italy.
Okay.
That's why I got it. Half of me. It was really, really good. Especially with Italian pasta. And one.
Yeah, whenever I cook, like, maybe. Or even, like, 31. Like, you know.
I can't any of this. Tasted one.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm kind of
It's like
from
me.
drinking liquor. I still like scotch.
Mhm.
I don't drink, but wine and beer, they just complement. I used to. I'm drinking. I just recently. I ended up, and really got me in. I always thought that mine was I feel less sophisticated women,
Yeah.
But it's really oh man, types of consistency.
Yeah.
And parts of it. And I've always liked bitter, especially with mine's like tough and Cabernet.
Yeah, they're so good that it's even fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Because you drink carelessly. It's not like, something that hits you in the chest like bourbon or something.
Yeah.
Or even some
You
scotch. But
can't gauge it.
Tequila.
I'll tell you about Scotch, man.
Some Scotch is pretty smooth.
Oh
Delicious.
yeah, I've gotten like a Walker, and
Johnny
just,
Walker Blue.
Oh, I'm a black guy.
Oh yeah.
That's all I can afford, you know.
Yeah.
You get Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
Shelf.
That's stuff I think we've only gotten it twice.
Yeah.
4 or 6 years. Something like that.
Talking, you get hundreds,
Yeah.
to $1,000 bottles of it. Crown's the same.
Yeah.
It was Crown, but
Crown Royal Black.
oh man,
Smooth.
I've gotten a lead. I went on this kick. About a week. One day I got a lead. Started drinking, and I was just pouring it in a highball glass at that time and sipping one. When I knew it, I was at the bottom of that damn. But no hangover. Now
really?
with wine, Merlot, oh, you could same damn thing. You could follow Merlot, and you'll get at the bottom of it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I wake up
never had mine.
with a cotton mouth.
Oh,
Start
yeah.
pounding water.
water.
It tastes so fucking.
Oh, it does. I'll tell you something that was a big. I mean, I've always looked at. He's always getting his buddies and all in it. Got me one. Right. I knew I was getting drunk, but it almost. I just kept. Next day, I was so hydrated. Started hitting the water really hard. I was drunk. Drunk. Like, yes, I've met. He's like, I told you not to drink water like that. I can't. Oh, never drank it since. That shit is poison. Poison.
Hit you twice.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you get 2 buzzes for, the price of 1.
But it's that liquor right there is the hardest thing. Vodka's the same. I'm not.
Really gonna piss people off.
Don't eat in front of the mic.
Yeah. Yeah, don't eat in front of Mike. Yes.
Be a douche.
Be a douche, just.
What the
Brush
fuck,
your
man?
penis.
Thank you.
Dog's free. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess next weekend we're adopting, but
Oh, is it a mutt?
she's you can tell she's got Doberman. Obviously, not pure Doberman. She's not like Min Pin. Don't look Min Pin. Big to be Min Pin.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit bigger than Belle. Under.
Yeah. How old is she?
Year and a half.
So she's getting close. Starting to.
Oh, my puppy down here. He smells food. It's chicken. That's buffalo chicken dip, by
I
the
can
way.
tell it's delicious.
With wheat thins, it's really good.
Oh yeah.
Sweetness is offset. Buffalo.
You can taste the.
You can taste the buffalo in there. It's delicious. It's buffalo blood and chicken. That's what it's called, buffalo chicken.
The buffalo
Made
tastes
with
like
buffalo
buffalo.
blood. Can you imagine buffalo actually tasted like that? Wait a minute, they almost did go extinct, didn't they? They were hunted out because they buffalo.
That was it the Indians or the pioneers?
Everybody.
Taken out.
Everybody was taking them out.
It wasn't even the pioneers.
Trappers.
Well, but then there was parts of that. One was Sherman came up with a plan. Actually, when Grant was president, he did not want to fight the Indians peaceful way
Yes.
because it all became gold. They kept pushing him. Have to go to war. He's like, I don't want to go. We just came out of the Civil War. lost a lot of people that fucked our up.
Yeah.
You know, these are indigenous people find a piece of play, but they went behind his back, sent Custer Black Hills, and instead of reporting back to Grant like he was ordered to, went to the New York Times, told him about the found tons of gold in the Black Hills. It spread like wildfire. So Sherman came up with a plan to starve the plain out. So what they did is they hired people. It's all still. Fire, Buffalo Bill Cody, Urban Cody were two that were killing the buffalo and getting $500 a hide. So, and they were getting people that were traveling east to west on the trains to sleep. That's what happened.
They're trying to starve the Indians.
But it wasn't the pioneers. The pioneers were migrate west.
Because where they, you know, shot the buffalo to eat, you know, went to. A lot of them were cattle drivers, ranchers and stuff.
It was like people that, you know, like the asshole that we put on the $20 bill, Jackson. That
Well, he fucked everybody.
For the Trail of Tears.
Oh yeah, he fucked everybody over.
So I mean, you look up to people like that, and people like talk shit about you. Man, I'm a diehard Confederate, always will. I stand. He was a president of the people, whether you white, black, Native American. He wanted to find peace by his. He didn't go for a second. You know, it's like man, fuck this politics. He didn't really want to be president. Locked into.
Yeah, the commanding general of the Union forces.
And he were.
Yeah, they went to what was it?
That's.
West Point or something
Oh
together.
yeah. They went to West.
They served together in like the Mexican American
Yep.
War, you know, for the Civil War, all that.
Yep.
Well, another thing. Yet about. I believe in slavery.
He didn't. He didn't own a slave. He didn't own a
When
slave
he
either.
fought for the
No.
Confederates, he really just
Well,
that was it. It had nothing for
reason
him. It had
he took
nothing to do.
command was because, and it was his words exactly. Absolutely, he didn't like what Jefferson did at all.
Mm.
Despised that. A lot of Confederate generals did, but
He was too loyal to every you know Confederate soldier up to the, you know, ranks of Robert E. Lee were loyal to the state. It wasn't about being, you know, being the Southern states. It was about, I'm going to die for Virginia, die for Alabama, I'm going to die for South Carolina.
And
That's how it was.
Another thing.
The state was their country.
Another thing about him, my history college even said this, that as he was meeting with men, fires started and ended as the Union soldiers started hollering, yelling at him, and all. And their general had actually said, "Stop right now! You better show him respect." And he silenced them because Lee, not just that guy, that general, but a lot of people throughout both military.
and it went both ways too, because a lot of those guys that were, especially making up, had all went to West Point. There was a brotherhood. That we're going to bring.
And that was the thing. It was brother versus brother through that whole thing.
I'm gonna eat this by
Some
myself.
of these guys didn't even want
I'm
to
trying to
fight.
look at it.
No.
I mean, like, even though I'm from Virginia, I'm huge into. Never been a racist person in all people, especially I'm a half breed. I don't care. I am a proud, but especially with he should be more, especially I think he at what he came into president.
Well, what people forget between the whole struggle to end slavery was a fight between the Democrat and the Republican Party. It was the pro-slavery Democratic Party, anti-Republican, or anti-slavery Republican Party. And people, today would be like, no.
A lot of people seem to forget, or it's just not really well known, that just because someone fought for the not meaning that they were fighting for slave rights.
Yeah.
A lot of them were very racist, and not just against black people. Because the Irish came here, it was like, "Welcome to America. Go fight for your country."
Yeah,
Irish.
Watch the movie Glory. Look at how
to America.
look at how the Union officers treated the black soldiers in like the movie Glory.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was Chinese came over. Take the Union as industrial company owners taking these ports. They were just picking them up off the train, and this is where you're working.
Yeah.
And they'd work them to death. But with Grant, yeah, you got to respect him, because not only did he come in after the Civil War, but they just got off of an Andrew Johnson, the 17th president, got impeached. Failure. He was going to send the whole country right back, not only into an depression, but back into a war. And he had to calm all the tension that was brought up again back down. Did a good job at it.
Bringing people can form their own opinion, obviously, of Bill O'Reilly, but his books, though, history books, are actually showing Lincoln. The whole first, I'd say 1/3 of the whole book, all about Grant versus, and that's where it got into their time together in West Point. Lee being actually being Grant's senior officer, Mexican, all that shit. Lee on the run, with his Confederate troops, the details of them having, eating rotten, maggot infested bacon. All they had rations.
It is.
Yeah, when they're on the run,
Yeah, well, he gets all butthurt about
Proper.
But shit happened, it's history. You can't fucking, you can't change history by erasing it by trying to fucking lie about it. You learn from it.
That's the thing. Any proper history should be teaching that the Civil War wasn't simply granted race and part of it. It wasn't the only aspect. There were 100 different.
Like I said, it was the fight to end slavery was in the House and the Senate between the Republican and the Democrat.
So some people wanted the war to start not based off slavery, but based off trade regulation.
Tariffs.
They want to be able to sell their goods to
Yeah. Yep.
With the certain states. But you cannot fucking do that. But how I view the United States is like the EU. I believe that every governor, it's not just a governor. A governor is a president of the state. And then you fall on a country helping guide a bunch of states, helping out with a bunch of states. Mm-hmm. All of us pay taxes to the U.S. government. Keep things. level. But they, unless it's a highway done by the government, most of your highways, all your infrastructure stuff, all this bullshit that everybody talks about infrastructure, it's a bridge deal. You got to understand, a lot of this is done by your whoever else commissions the build of these things. Down to it, the U.S. government, they have a lot of money and waste a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And it's, there's no accounting. But the simple fact is you got to understand the Civil War and back in the Revolution with the states. After the Revolution, these governors are the president of a specific country, different from Texas, California. These are different. You got to consider just word. That's what being a governor, like DeSantis is our president. People lose sight of that. Oh, he's just a governor. He's a governor. All your governors can tell the U.S. government, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
There's not a damn thing.
Well, it's like look at how terrible the current administration is. Everybody wants to come to Florida.
Yeah,
Everybody's
Texas,
moving to fucking Florida, though. Yeah, or Texas, but just because we live in Florida, you know, we see it happening.
We see a lot of it.
Luckily for us in Florida, you know, amongst all the fucking, you know, the chaos and the lunacy in the federal government, we got it pretty fucking good still. You know, luckily, thank God.
Well, here's kind of like a impression to probably, I want to say, 5 years before we moved to Virginia, 5 or 6, people started moving to Oregon. And they're changing. People who were born in Oregon started running houses in California.
Yeah.
And now Texas, Florida now, and Texas. Everybody's moving. It is unreasonable to try and handle that situation.
Nobody wants to move to a Commonwealth state, I can guarantee.
You know, what's kind of funny is I'm kind of surprised here in Florida that nobody's burnt down close yet. I'm not making a suggestion or anything. I'm just kind of shocked that burnt that place down.
Oh, she moved here already?
No, she didn't move here already. She's got a place, but
Is she even out of her position?
no.
I didn't. I know she was retired.
You think people give up power?
I
Power's
heard
worth more
she-
than money.
I heard she wasn't going back up into.
No, what she's trying to do, she's trying to be a bigger influence. Fucking parasitic affiliates.
Yeah.
Trying to get her, trying to groom that piece of shit. The fans have a right to know what happened to former children of Odom members.
Was that their guitar player that passed away?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Number one, you know, you have no right to know shit. If they want to keep that secret till they all fucking die, that's their right, literally. No, it's not my right to say, hey, you know, it's not my place to say, hey, I have a right to know every single fucking name I'm fighting with and who's fucking directly responsible. My fucking right. I kind of want to keep it down low. Nobody has a fucking right. Like you said, and once kind of chilled out,
There's certain things that stay
and
private.
that's called respect. And I have no right to fucking press it. People that turn around and say they have a right to, I have a right to know. I don't give a shit.
You have a right to be concerned, but you don't have a right to know what goes on in their
you have a
private
right to
life.
your feelings. You have no right to anybody else. Unless it's going to directly affect you. That kind of shit does not directly affect you. Rock and Roll Hall CEO says rapper Eminem is as hard hitting as metal. Okay, bro.
Who's this at?
I don't know. This Rock and Roll
Oh well, that's why it's fucked up because you just see what he said. That's why the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
That
is a shit show.
motherfucker
It's a
can
joke.
blow me backwards. I will fucking bend over and he can partake upon my penis.
Well, okay. One,
my butthole.
You can ask Eminem, and he will tell you straight up, rap. I'm all about rap. Has nothing to do with rock and roll. They need to change that fucking name of that, and it's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Call it the Music Hall of Fame because and I'm not putting Dolly down because she's an icon for what she did for country music, but you're putting Dolly Parton in there. Where the hell does she come into to rock and roll? She doesn't, and at least she's one person that was put on the nomination bill that I don't want to be in there. I'm not rock and roll.
Yeah, she said it herself, and said Dolly Parton. She fought for country music. She was very classy, very funny lady.
Yeah,
but she said it herself.
Yeah,
country though is probably the closest like other genre to rock and roll, but it's not rock and roll.
Rock and roll
it
came from country and blues.
Yeah.
It's part of the origin.
Well, I think it came from me. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
we started fucking playing.
But it was all before there
differently.
was rock and roll. Bits and pieces. I mean, even like you go back to the Slaves on the Chain Gang. Was origin for the blues, which it filtered down, and Robert Johnson was
Right.
Elvis and all those guys, and it filtered down. But now that you have all these different genres of music, rock and roll, metal is. At least Dolly had the class to say, "Look, I'm not rock and roll. I'm country music." Instead of someone like Anna.
Actually, that was pretty fucking rock and roll. This is not. I should.
Yeah.
Willing to bow out is really a proud moment. She
Doesn't-
should get the
doesn't,
award
um,
for fucking.
Doesn't the
being
country
metal,
doesn't a country have their own fucking thing anyway? It's like
Yeah.
the CMC awards or something.
Yeah. They have a country
Then
music.
again, the country and metal share a same bond of being poppy shit.
Go back to Waylon and Willie and those guys.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Two outlaws.
Well, there's a few newer heavy hitters in the outlaw scene in the country. Williams III.
Yeah, Hank.
'Cause
Well, he's dabbled in even metal. I mean,
Yeah.
he's dabbled
Oh,
in a
yeah.
lot of shit.
Well, he the thing about him though is he chose not to write off his daddy and his grandpa.
Right. No,
Yes,
it's
yes,
not-
he's Hank III or he's Hank William III, but he doesn't use his name to be the biggest be like a Luke Bryan or a Jason, like one of the faggots.
Well, that's-
Yeah.
He doesn't ride on the coattails of.
Right, like
No, but
he
he's
does his
also-
own thing.
he's earned what he's got.
Yeah.
Hank 3 is talented.
He's very fucking talented. He's the drummer for Superjoint Ritual. His hardcore band Assjack. He's the fucking guitar player and the fucking vocalist. His country thing. He's fucking vocalist and the acoustic guitar player.
But
He can play any fucking instrument actually, and sing. So
Yeah.
and talking about country rock, probably the closest I've ever rock and roll hard rock genre called dark country, which is basically it's still all the country instruments, banjo or harmonica, but the tone and tempo throughout the whole thing and a lot of the songs about almost like Robert Johnson, Satan coming to hunt you down. And it's about a lot of that stuff about being rebellious or outlaw or stuff like that. So I got into dark country quite a bit because of that.
listen to Aaron Lewis, friggin' going from Stain to doing a solo country shit. At first people were probably like, That's got to be terrible. But no, he blows fucking all these fucking posers out of the wall.
Yeah.
The Luke Bryans and shit.
If it's in your heart, man,
Yeah.
it's true.
Right.
I mean, just to do it, like it's just like,
Gotta be in it.
yeah. And if you're putting on the clothes and the makeup to walk out on stage to make a paycheck, to be the Milli Vanilli of whatever genre of music,
And do what Music Row tells you. That's
Yeah.
No, fuck that. It's not country.
It's like Darius Rucker. I mean, he's really into the country thing. He's always been a country guy, and he's very good at it. And I haven't heard any of the stuff, but he's very talented. He's won a bunch of awards for the shit that he's done. It's just not my solid thing. If I'm gonna listen to country music, I'm listening to the old school guys. My go-to is obviously going to be Bo Cephas or Waylon or Willie.
David Allan Coe.
Yeah, that's
Merle Haggard.
Drunk
And I listen to David Allan Coe. I'm damn sure want to be getting drunk because I get rowdy with that shit.
And speaking of David Allan Coe, that motherfucker's in his 80s. He's still fucking playing shows and shit.
Yeah,
getting on stage with his fucking walker and his goddamn Confederate fucking dime bag guitar.
All right.
A lot of people don't know that he collaborated with Pantera. Rebel Meets Rebel. Friggin'
absolutely.
Yeah.
So do people still play Another One Bites the Dust?
Yeah. Just to stir the pot.
And they play...
who's leaving? I don't know.
You've left your legacy.
They play any Johnny Paycheck, or what, after I left, nobody...
That was just you.
That was just me.
Now, who originally wrote Take This Job and Shove It? Was it Paycheck or David Allan Coe? Johnny Paycheck? Because I've heard the David Allan Coe version. And David Allan Coe wrote a lot of fucking music, a lot of songs for other country artists.
Right. But, James, nobody plays I Want to Go.
Yeah.
That was my Friday song.
Yeah.
Shit. Anyway, we have a thing on here from Loudwire. What am I allowed to? Loudwire.
That's your citation. You cited it.
Yeah, it's what favorite color says about you as a rock metal fan. Okay. Black is most commonly.
Okay.
Artists who use black, Typo Negative, Black Sabbath, and Korn. Okay.
A lot more than that.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're just giving examples. So if this is your favorite color is black, we get it. You're pretty serious. Maybe a little too serious. Probably dark and a little pessimistic, but that's okay.
Or maybe it matches, it goes with everything. You can wear a black shirt with fucking jeans or camo cargo shorts or whatever the fuck.
Is that your favorite color though? Black? Which favorite?
I have two.
Silver and black. Oh, okay. So it says you're a little pessimistic, but that's okay. You're a unique individual, and there's nothing wrong with
Okay, my favorite color is camo.
Enough with the Kings. I want to call it the Kings because this motherfucker, Raider Nation bastard here. The Los Angeles Kings. Anyway, red. Which yours is green, so red's probably the second most favorite. Ozzy Osbourne, System of a Down, Devlin Townsend. Favorite color's red. Odds are a bit more outgoing and upfront, more than most. Have a sense of adventure and are constantly looking for new ways of an adrenaline rush. Okay, orange may not be commonly thought of, but Van Halen, Motley Crue, and WK, Halloween.
Halloween, I can see.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Motley Crue. No.
Yeah, I guess.
But how would you get that too? Because can you pick bands like Motley Crue,
Right.
This obviously black and white was They didn't change that shit until it got into Dynasty.
They have silver.
Well, Ace did.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at 73, 73 all the way up to Dynasty, up to that point, not at Dynasty, it was all black and white.
Right. Yeah.
They're darker, and they didn't start adding color until actually the albums. And then they get into the non-makeup era. Dean would always say hated it. That's when they had the day blue colors and shit with Asylum and all that crap. And he like a
Yeah.
and then Motley Crue did the same thing. I mean, when they came out with the first two albums, they were all black and
Transvestite.
yeah.
No, actually, they weren't. Not then. It was later. The trans.
But the Theater of Pain, they added.
Yeah. Smoking in the boys' room.
Yeah.
I mean, they were fucking.
That album was
Motley
great.
Crue was fucking heavier. Remember? I mean, it's just
They were heavier than the rest of their
and all that
peers.
shit. But and all that hair metal shit.
They were heavier than their hair metal peers. I'll
Yeah.
leave that.
But no, in the first two albums, like even Rap was heavier.
Oh yeah, they were great.
But they all became more of a dance to the tune of the record company. So you need to get panties wet and sell some fucking albums.
Cookie cutter.
Yep. So orange is your social, outgoing, your free creative spirit. Well,
I was gonna say power metal,
yellow,
like Halloween.
yeah. Well, yellow is Dragon Force, Twisted Sister, Greta Van Fleet. Yes, yellow, Twisted Striper. Striper's yellow.
Yellow and Black Attack.
Yep. Probably a much more subtle color. Now, if you're yellow, odds you're the kind of adventurous spirit who sees the good in everything. I can see that with Striper. You're more of a Christ metal, kind of thing. Known for your optimism and your cheerful. All right, blue. That's my favorite color. Blue isn't thought of in metal, but cool, Spirit Box, and Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains. Is that metal?
Well, I look at Alice in Chains and Soundgarden were the two heaviest out of that scene.
Yeah,
Soundgarden.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Weren't they on the
I don't hate Alice in Chains. I like Alice in Chains.
weren't they on the Clash of the Titans tour though with Anthrax,
Megadeth.
Slayer,
Yes,
and
they were.
Megadeth?
Yeah, and they got booed off, but they people were throwing shit at them, but you know
They
what?
kept it real.
Yeah, they kept it real. They kept fucking
That's
playing.
metal. That's
Yeah.
metal.
They earned their stripes.
Yeah.
And Jesse's waiting for the waiting for the definition. Hold on.
That's my favorite color.
Green.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Now that I
yours
think
and
about it.
Jesse's. If you're a fan of blue, you're probably laid back, easygoing type of person, peaceful, compassionate, still strong. Is that right? Just like 1 out of 4.
Yeah.
Because green is overkill.
You aren't particularly bold. Doesn't mean soft. So I'm not bold.
Bold.
Am I soft? There's a rock.
Hope not.
All the time. All right, green. Okay, green's John and Jesse. Already got black and silver. I don't know. Purple and white. I'm gonna get you white. Green, another not so common. Dio, Alice Cooper, and
Overkill. Are they on there?
Overkill.
Are they on there?
nope. They just said Dio, Alice Cooper. And
I can see Alice Cooper because if you look at the cover of From the Inside,
right.
I get
Well, I
that.
think it's the gore thing, and I would add Rob Zombie to that
Yeah.
because all the kind of the rotting.
Shit, even Metallica had and maybe I'm just thinking Injustice for All. I don't know.
No, I mean they use green.
Overkill. Every fucking logo is green.
Yeah, and Rob Zombie is a lot of his.
I can see some of the.
Who else is green? Poison.
I see them more.
Yeah, more vagina
Pink and
color.
green.
I mean, hey, man, CC DeVille's a great fun.
I won't take away anybody's talent. No.
Even Exodus had some green.
But
Oh,
I just don't see. I see them more as like a flamboyant neon that teased. First seen that first album, look at that. I thought it was like. I didn't know the dudes. Didn't see the video back.
All right, so green. We're green. Not nothing. Okay, Alice Cooper. If your favorite color is green, you're likely to be a very practical person, down to earth, and you enjoy helping others. Do you enjoy helping Jesse?
I do. I
I
He
used
does.
to.
And here, there, you're down to earth, and you're pretty down to earth.
I used to like.
Yeah.
That's like
Practical,
a
I don't know. Everybody has a dream. John's kind of a dreamer, but he is kind of practical. He is practical. Practical. You're very practical. You're a fucking
straight shooter.
straight shooter.
Yeah.
Flip on the flip side, however, it's possible that you're just jealous type as well. You're not jealous, and
Nope.
you're an is what it is kind of guy.
I fuck with Aries.
Yeah.
Like Dominator.
All right. This is your turn. Has to do with first purple.
Death Angel.
Rush, Muse, and Thrice. Death Angel. Rush is purple.
Death Angel's last.
I don't see Rush being.
I thought Rush was always a red band.
Well, yeah, for 2112. Yeah. But I mean, everybody seems to go to the 2112 thing. But for me, like when I see Blue, when I see Rush, because I'm always thinking about my night.
Right.
I don't know. They're so uniform. And of course, there was Blue on 20.
Right. But purple is a fan of this color. Odds are that you thrive in creativity and crave individualism. Type of person who's able to take it all out. Focus on what you want. I don't know. This is just ridiculous.
Fucking Loudwire.
Well, it's Loudwire, but I don't know who the fucking guy. Oh,
Who the writer is.
no, the gallery credit is.
Ash or something.
The author of it should
So,
be up at the top.
Now you're gonna get. This is probably gonna piss a few people off because of white.
Zombie?
And they were talking about White Zombie is metal, right? Hard rock, and every fucking band in here, hard rock or heavy metal. Bear with me. White's the opposite of black. The bands that embody white: Fleetwood Mac, The Police.
Wait. It's white.
White.
I can see Fleetwood.
Yeah, but it's no. I'm just saying Fleetwood Mac.
Well, no, but I mean,
Yeah, but okay.
their color.
They're
is-
still rock
The
though.
Police. I'd figure and Pink Floyd.
Ball maybe.
I mean, yeah, I can see. Then you can look at Dark Side of the Moon. With
I was
the
about to say
spectrum.
all colors.
Yeah.
in one.
And white is a combination.
And the LGBT letter game.
Shitting a kitten right now.
Listen to Pink Floyd constantly because of that album. It's got a triangle, rainbow.
But that's not what it means. Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
and
gang.
the triangle doesn't mean AA.
Well, then they're offended by it because it doesn't represent them. So now we got to cancel.
So, if your favorite color is white, which color being black would be. We got a black guy, black and silver guy.
I mean,
You probably get along with the blue folks. You're calm, peaceful, grounded personality. Likely offsets more bold energy. Those around you. Bold energy. You're the
Offsets the
You're
bold.
the beta of all the other colors. White's the beta Because it's sizing the else around them. So if you're with an alpha, that's really gonna.
Yeah, I've never even looked. You were either black leather denim or you were spandex
Well,
gray.
I saw the colors because people would like overkill with use colors. So I'd get. This Iron Maiden really didn't. They were white. They were like Testament, outlined in color. Sometimes they had bold colors. Look at the ACD.
Well, Iron
But I mean,
Maiden
that's
used so
it's
many
white and
different.
black. I
But,
mean,
and the same thing with the crew too. Just like with
Right.
Maiden and Priest.
Priest is silver.
changed with
Right.
with the albums. Like like Megadeth was the old English at first, and then when they came up with the actual logo that we see today was gold. Then it was
Right.
turned to silver or chrome. So it changed.
So-
Very few bands actually kept the
original, yeah.
yeah.
I think Death was.
Yeah.
As far as color, I think.
Well, Venom's changed a lot, almost on every.
The logo kept the same, but the color did change.
Yeah.
Like Welcome to Hell was gold. Black Metal was white.
Right.
Black Sabbath.
Zest album was
Yeah, Black Sabbath
was
had
black
purple,
on white.
They could have been purple, yeah.
purple and black.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they have Black Sabbath and black. My first purple. They had a lot.
Like Master Reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, too, they had
Paranoid.
had a Bloody Sabbath. That was a.
But it was, but also
Their logo
going to a
all
Black
changed.
Sabbath concert, they had a lot of purples and shit.
I think purple. When I think of purple, black,
Right,
purple.
right.
I think of
Yeah, and that's
um,
what I think of, like with green too. Is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
dead shit.
yeah.
Dead rotting fucking.
Yeah.
Didn't Dio always keep red?
He-
Holy Diver.
He had his logo red for.
I think the only logo that was ever different was fuck, I have forgotten. Dream Evil, yeah.
Iron Maiden used a lot of yellow. If I'm remembering correctly.
I think it's
Red.
red too.
Yeah,
Red and yellow.
And
red,
white.
yellow, and blue.
Red was when the logo was bold.
Yeah, all I see is Dio is red and white.
Number of the beast. Like that.
I mean, red with
Yeah, on his actual
Yellow
album
Power
covers, I
Slave.
think
Right.
they're always
But,
red.
They
always
changed.
red
Yeah.
or white.
It was
album
white.
cover. See, it was red
White
with gold
somewhere in time.
outline.
White it was white outline.
Wasn't
yeah.
Seventh Son of the Seventh Son
Blue, yellow.
blue? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like Power Slave.
Yeah, there's black and silver. Dio is normally red, black and red. Now this is gold and red with a
Dio.
little black fade out.
Dio,
But,
Dream Evil.
Well, that's kind of like Judas Priest.
See, it's still red, but it's the only one that looked slightly different.
Yeah.
The logo wise.
But yeah, that's it's always red. That's what overkill's easy.
I think except for the I Hear Black album.
Metal Church has always been
Yeah, Metal Church.
white outline with red. Love Metal Church.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I guess I can go red on Iron.
Rip Mike Howe.
Because
Rest in
a
peace.
lot of their logos that you see in hat are red. That's how they. Yeah, they are right. It's
The
red,
Trooper, which is single,
but black and white.
but
Like you
Jinju's
said,
red,
Seventh
right?
Son, she's red. Had gold. yellow.
Book of Souls though was white and black.
Yeah.
Logo.
So yeah, there's a lot of red. Yeah. Fear of the Dark,
Yellow,
blue and yellow, like a Seventh Son.
Lovers of Death.
Fear the Dark was a darker blue.
There. But it's still, I guess red you would call it because.
Yeah. I think that's the original logo.
Right.
And everything else, whether it changed, it on the color of the.
Like Pantera. Like their logo in the 80s.
And they also changed it too with so
Yeah.
they started adding things.
I
Pantera
love that one.
was different. They used all kinds. Fire was the one I common.
Reinventing the steel.
It's fucking. It's that.
Yeah.
Their logos changed. Black.
Like
white,
that one right there is like
Yeah. Red. I guess you can call it red because
yeah.
the Pantera things. The one I know, yeah.
I have that one too.
Since we're talking about Pantera, I just want to put out there: if you're one of them cocksuckers that has like a dime bag guitar sign that you trying to turn around and start make a profit off it, fuck you.
Keep it.
Yeah, put that on your wall. Pass it to your.
Like just my dime signature guitar alone, I was,
No, I wouldn't be upset if they sold it for issues.
For something like that,
Yeah.
I can see it. But for me, I mean, if I had something that I got from Dime person, you couldn't offer me 8 figures.
So my wife
No.
was able to obtain a damage plan pick that year.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it's just like how he felt about with the guitar that Eddie put in the coffin with it.
Judas Priest definitely changed over the years. Their
Oh,
logo,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the
I remember when they had like little.
Well, see, this is what I'm used to is Judas Priest is chrome.
Rock-a-rolla to Sin
Rock-a-rolla,
After Sin,
yeah.
Seven Wings of
I
Destiny.
And that's when they had Sin After Sin and all that. That's when they went to.
And then British Steel's when they first
Do you
got
remember
this one.
Do you remember what album that actually album that appeared on?
Which one? The
The Jagged.
the metallic looking one?
The Jagged.
That was I think British Steel.
That's what
Was
I
it
think.
British Steel?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what I think of Judas Priest and chrome.
Then when
Oh,
Jugulator
Because
came
of
out,
because of the that's when they started adding.
and then when Jugulator came out, after Halford left and they had Tim Ripper, they had like a totally different look.
Even right up to their latest one, it looks chrome.
Yeah.
That looks like a reflection of.
That's Painkiller. I can just tell by
Yeah,
the color.
He's mostly chrome.
That one right there is like it's Tim Ripper.
Yeah.
There.
Oh.
I got my glasses. I can't. Okay.
Jugulator.
What the fuck are you doing now, Tim? Shit.
Everything.
He said.
KK's Priest, 3 Tremors.
Yeah, he said he's dipped in there. He's doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of
That's what I'm
projects.
saying, because he's like Mike Portnoy. He's got a billion things going on at one time. I can't keep up with all it.
Oh, speaking of that, when are we reviewing? Like, or whatever.
Oh, we can do it now. I mean, mine's not put
As a
together.
closer,
But
Well, we could save yours as like.
because we've been doing 240. It's
almost 3 hour.
Jeez.
Show.
Yeah.
But more well constructed because I got a new job that I work at. So you guys, and it was hard for me genuinely. And when I'm taking it serious, but Prince is one of my fucking guitars. You know, it's a serious fucking thought out deal here. You know, but I already know the bass is obviously Steve Harris. Yeah, I love it. And Prince is one of the artists, and or keyboardist. So he's man, and he's a big part. But he's capable of doing. And I don't have Bruce Dickinson. I love him. You know, like he's not exactly, but if you hear Bruce Dickinson shit, you know, after Paul Dean, I don't think he's capable of that. I haven't heard him take a song other than, and he half-assed fuck that here, fuck it up. He half-assed it, do it, and it was better than fuck. I haven't chosen singer yet, so it's tough, and I've got two people, and I'm not sure.
So we holding off on him, or we reveal?
So you guys can reveal. I can still work on that.
All right, well, I'll go.
Yeah, which
All right. So
fantasy band?
yeah,
Fantasy band time.
and you know it can.
Basically, who would you want to see as like a super group?
Yeah, this is your personal. They write 2-3 albums. I would.
Or they could do covers, tribute. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start with my two guitar players. I've put together. I think,
Dual leads.
yeah, and I think you're bringing two different aspects of lead guitars together. Both of them write great composition, awesome arrangement. So those are my two. My bass player, just because I wanted to go a little, I like to see him move, because he was a bad,
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker.
bad motherfucker.
So I call Who the Metal. Like really the first metal band.
Right. All right, my drummer. And it was really such a hard pick, but I'm going to say Mike Portnoy, because he's such a well-rounded drummer. He knows aspects, and he's got 30 bands going at one time. Such a well-rounded drummer.
So you're talking all in their 20s or some of these?
Age-wise,
Yeah, age-wise. You have the earlier
Well-
raw material,
well-
and then you have the later more
well,
still.
okay, well, I'll go back to guitar players. Like with Randy Rhoads,
Well,
obviously I'm gonna, I'm gonna
Randy Rhoads is Randy
Diary,
Rhoads.
diary, yeah.
Died early.
right. So it's I'll say Diary, because you got both collaborations. Dimebag, all the way up to assassination. Just
5 years.
did so many fucking Danes with.
And it's ever evolving too.
Yeah.
It's cool.
John Entwistle, and stuff that he did solo, everything he did with I think 60s.
Probably for
Yeah,
your 60s.
yeah. I mean, because
Yeah.
he never lost anything. Drummer, Mike Portnoy, any age, it doesn't matter. I would say, I'm gonna say early 40s, because he's still a badass. I mean, the Sons of Apollo are fucking. My keyboardist is gonna be everything he did. Masterpiece. It was a real big toss up between him and John. I know that John Paul Jones was. Every time I think of him, Led Zeppelin, I always think of the word that he on team. But John Lord just had that shit. Everything that Richie Blackmore did, or John always matched it. Phenomenal. Singers, oh my god, so many. But the reason that that the singer that I picked is because I've always had, and probably not going to think of him. It's Chris Cornell. Has such a melodic, so much tragic loss there.
Mind if I went there? So I'll start with my dime bag. Fantastic. Buckethead.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
And then my bass is Steve Harris. For drums, it'd be singer I chose. It's just pure versatility. And then keyboard is actually John. Orchestra that you love.
Oh yeah, Trans-Siberian.
Yeah, he's the main keyboardist.
Yeah.
He's the main keyboardist
Yeah.
in.
I should have known that because I like trans.
Wasn't most of them like part of Sabotage?
Yes and no, they change out, but he, like the fuck.
Yeah. Set up.
So the fantasized supergroup I picked, 4 out of the 5 had already collaborated together, but not at the same time, nor like with the same groups necessarily. But I think I picked them because it kind of mingles like my 3 favorite subgenres of metal being power metal, death metal, and thrash metal. So for the vocalist, I picked Tim Ripper. He's a very well-known but underrated vocalist, having played with Judas Priest, Iced Earth, of course, side projects like and he played with Ingve Malmsteen. But and plus all of his side projects, Free Tremors, who we saw, Shit Kicker Powerhouse. But anyway, enough said. Fucking Tim Ripper, he's one of the greatest, my favorite vocalists, one of my greatest idols. Which also leads to one of his career moves, Iced Earth. For rhythm guitar, I picked John Schaefer. John Schaefer, to me, is one of the greatest rhythm guitar players of all time in heavy metal. From where he's taken Iced Earth all the way, Burn Offerings and Horror Show to, the most recent lineup, having done like, Plagues of Babylon and Incorruptible. Just amazing songwriter, amazing rhythm guitar player. And then kind of, throwing the whole lineup for a loop. For lead, I picked Gary Holt. As Gary Holt to me is the greatest lead guitar player, like at least in thrash metal. I mean, I love Kirk Hammett. I love Alex Skolnick. All them guys are fucking great. But just to me, Gary Holt is the thrash metal lead guitar player that really makes the fucking hair back of my neck stand. So that also leads to like another, 2 guys that have played together. For bass, I picked Steve DiGiorgio. Steve DiGiorgio played with Death on, I want to say it was Individual Thought Patterns is when he started, and Symbolic, which is my favorite Death album, if not one of my most favorite albums of all time. Sounds of Perseverance. And he's just a very technical bass player, playing the 4 to the 6-string bass, fretless bass, and it was cool as fuck to just meet him with Testament a couple weeks ago. He also played with Ice Earth horror show.
Oh yes.
just a shit kicker technical bass player, and I think he could play fucking anything on bass, any genre of music, not just metal. And for the drummer, that was kind of a difficult pick, but having done some thinking, you may already know who I picked because I said it's a huge collaboration. I picked Gene Hoglan.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, Gene Hoglan too. Played with so many shit kicker fucking groups. Also playing with Death, Testament, having played with Dark Angel back in the day. Dark Angel, badass thrash metal band from LA. The scene wasn't very big down there. They're really the only two well-known bands from LA. Metallica in the beginning, but didn't get their recognition until the Bay Area. Then it was Slayer. But people forget about Dark Angel. Dark Angel's a fast. Gene Hoglan is fast fucking drummer.
Like Gene would say, you darn tootin'.
Fucking. But yeah, just having done some thinking, I don't really think it's my so much my bias for like Iced Earth and Death being like two of my all-time favorite bands, but the culmination of those three subgenres that they all play and are a part. Gene Hoglan playing thrash and death, Steve Giorgio playing power, death, and thrash, and of course John Schaefer just being like a progressive rhythm guitar player, songwriter, and fucking Tim Ripper just doing it all.
What would be cool is if there was like
no keyboardist. Sorry, I didn't think.
What was that Rocky movie that was out? Like the type thing.
Oh,
It was like 4 or 5, or no, 5 or 6.
5.
It would be cool if we had something like that where we could take all of our picks, put them together, and see how the outcome would be. That would be fucking amazing.
Another thing we could do too is like if these certain artists were still alive, like Dime, like Randy Rhoads, like Chuck Schuldiner.
I can honestly say I do know because I've heard Ozzy say it time and time again. Had Randy lived, he would not be in metal. He would be some classical virtuoso.
Mhm.
And at this
Like
point,
Yngwie
or
See-
probably at this point would be high up plastic fucking.
Speaking of that, my other close pick to Gary Holt was Marty.
I did think about my drummer again. Not doing Aaron Kitcher. I'm actually going to do Chris Adler.
There you fucking go.
Wow.
Megadeth.
Oh, Megadeth and fucking Lamb of God.
Yeah. X drums, vinyl cymbals, burying heads.
Dude, Chris Adler lived this fucking dream when he was the drummer on the Dystopia album. That was like his fucking dream was to be in Megadeth.
Both him and Will. That was
Yeah.
their band growing up.
Yep.
And they're Virginia boys.
That was why it was really cool. Like I actually didn't know Chris Adler was on that album until I like bought the vinyl, and I flipped it over, and on the back there was Chris Adler with standing next to Dave Mustaine
The
and
only
Ellison.
reason I knew before I read the article in Modern Drum.
But that album was a lot faster and technical, I think, because of drum wise, percussion wise.
Well,
And they had the dude from Angra on.
don't get me wrong, because I was big at Limp. But you know, Marty was in the and to me, not taking away from any musician ever, but that was my favorite. Something about Marty. There was something magical happening. I don't care if you were light metal or you were just the person that, like, oh my god, all of a sudden you like I'm all Metallica fan. Megadeth, kind of more radio friendly. Those are my it was whatever they did, it was right. Everybody's ever played in that band can't play with Dave.
Yeah.
You're on.
Well, you know, John Schaefer was the same way. Iced Earth, like, so even though they were somewhat, you know, underrated, even though they're most well known us as power metal band. He pushed everyone to their limit, and still not enough. I think that's why every fucking album is consistently good, if not better than the prior album, regardless of, you know, the amount of lineup changes.
And Nice Earth, though. Musicianship, it was composition, structure, phrasing musically. Then when you get into the content of the lyrical aspect of, holy shit, man. There's only been a few bands that I put in. They write songs lyrically that like sit issue class or classical theology or that's like Ice Earth, Iron Maiden. I don't think. It's because I mean, being a songwriter myself, and guys, I mean, my lyrics aren't like really great, but not like sloppy shit.
But your lyrics, though, too, could go like, you know, when we were doing our, you know, when we were predicted by Crane, it was really like mix and match, you know, subgenre.
Yeah.
Heavy metal to thrash metal to doom metal, you know.
I
We
wish
did
we
a lot of that.
recorded the last thing. The Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Fucking, that was
Oh,
weird. How long did we play that for? Like
Minister
10
of
minutes,
Misery?
15 minutes?
Yeah.
And just like fucking just, it was odd. And we kept changing a little bit here and playing. And
It was a work in progress.
that was odd. That was like fluid though. We were in a fucking mood.
It's not going anywhere. It's still there. So, you know, when you get back into it, once you recover, I want us to get.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. You guys are not going to be happy with it. Let's say David Draymond. Third.
Vocalist?
Yeah, vocalist. Simple fact is, you know, he can do.
Got a range.
Got a hell of a range.
Yeah.
I mean, he could probably do a priest. And probably not bastardize Iron. Black metal. I mean, we've
he
heard
did
fucking, you know, get really rough with the voice.
He did a Disturbed too. Did a Judas Priest cover. They did
Right.
"Living After Midnight" with the intro of the drum solo of "Painkiller." It actually sounded pretty good, I think.
But,
I'm not the biggest Disturbed fan, but I'll give
the
credit.
guy-
I'll give credit
the
where
guy
credit's due
is-
for sure. I mean,
And I'm talking current, not. And I'll go with a current or 10 years ago. Steve Harris. Simple fact is songwriting ability, and he plays that motherfucker like a lead guitar.
Yeah.
He is damn good at what he does.
same with Steve DiGiorgio, and that's kind of why I
Yeah,
picked him, mainly because, you know, obviously I love Iron Maiden, I love Steve Harris, but did everything played as far as playing like jazzy, you know, death metal, thrash metal vibe, and that's
Right.
because Steve Harris probably would have been my second pick.
Because the thing I'm thinking of is because knowing Steve Harris, it's going to go like a Sabaton way, and because the Disturbed singer David can do the music, you know, it would have to be vocalist, you know, because I'm looking for more of a power metal, and you know, if they want to get heavier, like they focus power metal and like in and out a couple songs.
I think that's an amazing choice. In my opinion, you have 3 bass players. You got 2 different styles of bass. Fingers, and I don't have a problem with either. Both great styles, but you had John Entwistle, Butler of their era, had
Geezer
Steve-
Butler. Geezer Butler, though, and just seeing. I mean, I never saw Sabbath
Yeah.
live, but just like seeing like live videos of like say Black Sabbath. That's like him doing.
I like
just
Geezer.
riffing fucking like War Pigs on bass at his age. It was fucking incredible.
He's nowhere
Like,
near what Ellefson Harris can.
well, what I was
well, they're
what I
the
was trying
next,
to say, like
the next generation
of their era.
They were
and then-
excellent.
And then you come into the '70s with Steve Harris. I'm just going to say from the '70s to the '80s to Cliff Burton. Those guys set the bar.
I almost picked Cliff.
Well, I mean, yeah,
definitely. He was honorable,
Yeah.
idea.
And Cliff didn't come along until the '80s, but Steve was there during the period of the '70s. Excuse me. Geddy Lee. But Geddy Lee and Steve Harris from the '80s with Cliff, but those guys really set the bar for their decade bass players to come up until where we're at. So, playing with your fingers like that, the way that those guys did, Steve Harris is, he should be Edition Hall of Fame.
Right.
I'm a big.
Yeah. So, of course, Dime and simple fact that actually with 3 guitarists, I'm not sure if it's Schaefer, not sure, 2 or lead guitar. Excellent. But I think, it's tough for me with those 3 because I've heard what they do and I've seen concert with, it's like, oh, it's song. Here's not a one guy thing. All very capable. And so is Schaefer. I think Schaefer has a shit ton of range. And there's a lot of complexity that goes with it. I did like that choice. I'm like, that boosted him up for me. But I'm also,
You're just thinking of heavy as fuck Ice Earth riffs. That's Schaefer.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure. And of course, Prince, I'm talking like 30-year-old, or he threw the guitar up kind of thing,
Yeah.
where he's still exploring a lot of where he's on it at. Fucking Prince. After he does. Still trying to further.
I just want to say with Dimebag and Prince, I could.
And that's what I'm
because-
talking about.
Plus, the
That's
thing,
what
Dime,
I wanna-
like Dime collaborated with David Allan Coe, a totally different subject, genre of music.
right.
But
And
why not?
With those two, you've got 2 very strong leads. I could actually our battle through it and melding in together.
And that's why that's the biggest reason why I chose it, because be an ego and then kind of an ego in Dimebag, kind of knocking him down, briefly fighting in fucking hard. That and that's why.
But if you think about
this, the thing is with Adrian's very fucking.
Think about this though.
Not like the
what
other
what
guys
we're
are.
doing could help our song as influence. Like, take Prince's music, take Dimebag's music. How would you make that your own? What should they have done if they were still alive?
Right, and that's why I'm thinking. That's why I want to
You write your own fucking riffs right there.
Because Steve Harris can, and like some of the bass players that aren't as good, he can play with, like some of Prince's, and they can't, like the Disturbed singer. I count good, and then Prince being a backup vocal or actually song could possibly, he could do a decent Chris, you've heard him sing. If he wanted to do some good metal, if he wanted to.
He could do the.
He's dead now, but
Well,
He wanted to at the time.
Yeah.
but he is, and that's why I like the ego, and then Dimebag being able to reel that back a bit, or there's definitely real. But of course, he has done everything that. From my understanding, Chris done everything able to put in that little extra that we watched on a little drum kit. Drum kit that he
His
plays
arena
with.
kit, yeah.
And you could hear things missing, and you didn't realize how it was missing. As what was it, about 15 versus his concert set that goes all the way around him. You can hear things. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was cool though, it was almost like he was pushing himself, like he was challenging himself, because he said that like personally his favorite Maiden album or difficult was Power Slave. Favorite album, which hear his true potential, was Seventh Son. He fucking played like half of Seventh.
And I want to go as far as saying maximum. I mean, I can like, I'm talking like he's capable now, but like Fear the Dark, you know what I mean? Like like that age. How old was he in Fear of the Dark? Probably in his 40s.
Fear the Dark kind
So
of
yeah,
kind of sounded more old school though too, even though it was a later album.
right. But he's still in point where I feel that he's himself right now. I've done. It's a masterpiece. Like a lot of metal, like and making, but there is you.
Oh yeah.
But so yeah, Disturbed, Maiden. I'll go. I would go with Schaefer because I have already got 3 egos on. Well, I don't know, David. I don't know. Dime's got kind of an ego, but he just wants to have fun.
Yeah, he's
that kind of
fun
deal.
lover,
I'm setting my ways. I'm gonna have fun, and Steve Harris definitely has a fucking ego. But I think with everybody being able to put their shit together, I've gotten Schaefer backing it up,
Dime was still very humble.
or Smith backing it up. See, that's a tough call for me. They're all really good, and I know.
Well,
Schaefer could probably do leads if called upon really, really well.
He did
But
on the Dark Saga album. He was
Right.
like the only guitar player.
Right.
So
but
he
I'm
wrote the
talking
leads
like
and
the complex, like because complex shit on the level of and be able to add a little. So yeah, I go with
Maybe-
Schaefer because I would like to hear some of that in Ice Earth and all that. So you get his take on, hey, how about I play? I don't want it all Iron Maiden. And of course you get songs. That and some, he liked the blues, liked old rock, and so did Dime. Yeah, that's why I chose the 2 because of the opposite ego. Dime's got this ego, he's got this. Okay, I'll do it. I'm going to add a little of this. Oh, that sounds.
So we're allowed to have 3 guitar players.
Yeah.
Aiden does it.
There's
Well,
no.
I did it because,
Skinner does
obviously,
I'm gonna add
obviously
one.
Maiden has a keyboard in their shit,
Yeah.
and Prince would be that too.
I'm gonna add a guitar player.
All right.
Because he's crazy. Fucking man.
I know you're talking.
Yeah. That King Diamond's guy.
There was I remember seeing this old documentary on death and whatever the new album they were patterns guitar player. Yeah.
They flew him in from Denmark, and they were all in like Sandy the Rock.
Yeah, and plus you know, Chuck Schuldiner gave credit to, you know, he's like, I didn't start Venom started death metal. Or, you know, Merciful Fate started death metal, you know, even Motorhead, you know, because they were so extreme time.
And normally I would have went with, like, for vocals, I would have went with King Diamond because he's very, very.
I thought about
the different voices that he could do for the characters, music, but I went with Chris Cornell because I wanted a little bit of has to be soulful. You know, there's so much virtuosity going. Wow.
I actually thought about King Diamond too as the vocalist, and I also considered, you know, not to be, you know, Iced Earth biased, but I considered friggin' Matt Barlow and Stu Block, because Stu Block actually, you know, when he plays with Into Eternity, when he's them being Canadian melodic death metal, not only does the higher, you know, Ripper Halford, you know, screech, but he goes extremely fucking guttural, like almost like fucking Chris Barnes, like really fucking. He's got a range on him like I've never seen. He's also done that Annihilator album with or damn guitar player, like main guy with Annihilator, and Dave Lombardo. Damn, what was it?
Well, see, that's why I chose
Braveheart.
Dave from Disturbed is he's capable of doing like a typo. He's capable of doing a Tool. Capable of well, not
Jeff
AC/DC,
Waters.
but Paul Diano. I think he's capable of doing Priest. Do Meshuggah if he wanted to. The guy is.
Oh,
You know, it's
he's
like,
got great voice.
Steve Harris is like, here you go. I wrote this, and I want it to sound like this. That's.
Oh, and Tim Ripper, also one of his side projects. It's called Spirit of Fire. Steve DiGiorgio is the bass player. So it's not like I'm like, you know, picking shit that's already been done, but it's just like, you know,
That's your band, though.
yeah, it's just it chemically, it's like it culminates, you know, my like 3 favorite subgenres, and I didn't even think about that until after I like, you know, kind of picked. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot fucking Steve Giorgio did an album with I. Oh yeah, fucking Steve Giorgio and G. Hoagland are both in Testament and both played with Death, but it's just their style of playing that really impresses me.
Yeah, I was kind of like for like bass players to me. I went with John Entwistle on Friday the bass, but I was kind of conflicted between him and Cliff Burton because they're both just amazing.
Well, I think like, you know, I don't want to put down any of the you know, the classics of any band, but I feel like a lot of these thrash metal bands, you know, that we love, get better with age. You know, whether it's just you know, different lineup changes, or just, you know, they've been doing it for so many years that you know they just get better from practice and experience. But
They get better. Their style changes.
That's a big thing. Is
They polished.
But like Testament's newer albums, like the most recent one, Titan's Creation, Brotherhood of the Snake, Dark Roots of the Earth, plus Gene Hoglan and Steve DiGiorgio are on, contributed to writing and albums and playing on those albums, obviously, and they're really fucking heavy, really really good. Same with same with Overkill. Overkill's obviously it's not Rat Skates anymore, it hasn't been for time, or the original guitar player, Gus. What was his name? Oh, Bobby Gustav. I was thinking Gus, but current lineup. Even though having Bobby Blitz and Dee Bernie as static members since the beginning, all their later albums having been released every like 2 to 3 years are fucking phenomenal. Ever released. But like I said, just they've gotten better with age. Same with Death Angel. Totally different lineup change, but you still have Mark Gosageta, you still have, Rob, lead guitar player, who are, cousins. But they went back to their traditional thrash roots with melody, with melodicism. Fucking Exodus too. I mean, shit. Persona non grata, heavy as fuck. I mean, you listen to obviously Bonded by Blood was brutal, for its time, and then having Steve Zetro do Pleasures of the Flesh and Fabulous Disaster and Impact is Imminent.
Love Pleasures.
Yep. Force of Habit, all those fucking albums. Were brutal as fuck, and I think it has a lot to do with, like I said, Gary Holt's guitar. But having come back to Temple with the Damned, 2003, 2004, holy fuck was that? And then even the Rob Dukes era, like Exhibit A, The Human Condition, and then they did a part 2. And then they re-recorded Bonded by Blood. Heavier. So many other like thrash metal albums that are more technical, just sound really fucking good. Blossom and Jetsam, even though they had Jason Newsted. Years probably since what was the film himself? No Place for Disgrace. That one? Anyhow,
My brain's fried.
Yeah.
Heathen released a new album too that's like really fucking good, but I'm just I'm rambling on here, but I'm just my point is these older bands have put out some really, really good newer albums.
Oh, yeah.
In recent years. Really, really good.
Well, Mike looks like he's about to get a pillow and go to sleep. So.
Crystal's on her way to pick.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that would be our metal perspective on
Fucking out.
3 hours on everything.
18.
And 18 minutes.
Close enough.
So, good night.
Good night. If you ever need someone to talk to, find somebody to talk to.
Call that hotline.
Call us if you could.
Yeah, well, at least get our, emails up there. We'll check it and talk to you.
Yeah, or just comment on the live stream. Again, I'm the here, so I'm always looking at chat.
Or
Finding out.
Start a vinyl record collection. Go to shows.
there's
No, don't do it in excess.
Yeah.
There's a good hobby that that you can do is if you like a certain type of alcohol. It's like what I do is I I've gone through. You guys know this. I've tried a lot of vodka. Find my favorites. 4.
Been good.
Yeah.